That is right, everybody. You know what time it is. Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV. I'm your host, Drew Collins, bringing you the best sports infotainment here in the Natty. You know today's video / live stream, Bengals versus Rams, Super Bowl matchup here in the preseason. So, I gotta change that. So welcome. We are an hour early on the dot. DCTV being on time. Can we get some hype in the chat for DCTV on time? Right on time, 5 o'clock. So we have an hour to talk Bengals football. I was at the practice earlier in the week. I watched the fight happen. I was there with Jeremy Rao at Fox 19. He took me there because I'm the sports intern there. So I went to the Bengals practice. I got to see the fight happen, and the rest of the practice, I got to see the starters, the bench. So I got a lot of information under my belt, and I'm really glad I'll be able to share it to you guys. So yeah, welcome. And my career is starting to happen. I'm only a junior in college, but it's already starting to happen, so I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I'm gonna need something big out of you guys today. I'm gonna need you guys to smash that like button so we can get up into the top rating spots when it comes to live streams here on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you haven't already, follow me on my Instagram, because when I'm with Jeremy Rao and Joe Danaman at Fox 19 and I'm going to Bengals practices, UC games, you're gonna see it there first on my Instagram story. So if you don't want to miss out and you want to see it first, follow my socials. I had the videos posted of Aaron Donald in practice. I got a photo of the fight, videos of the Bengals working out, some of the one-on-ones. I posted all in there. And then also the Discord. We have 150 plus people, I think 154 or something now, in the Discord. All we do is talk Bengals football, and I also put some of the clips in there. So just giving you a heads up, if you want to see it first, go ahead. My socials are the best spots to get that at. I gotta do a few things first. I gotta go ahead and share the stream on a couple of Facebook pages and just around. If you guys have any friends or pages, like Bengals pages, you can share it too. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And then we can get into what I saw at the practice this week, and my predictions for this game, and what to expect going into the final roster and week 1 season. So let me go ahead and change this first. I want to say this first, get this out the way. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. So let me go ahead and fix this right off the bat so we can have a updated score that's proper. How was your guys' week? Oh, let me shout out some of the people in the chat. You guys were in here early today. I wasn't able to read. Shout out to the GOAT, Rowan. Looks like we got a Rams fan in here. Run it back. Rams, V Broken, Cincy Edits, Oga Boga. What's up, Stuart? Broken. I hope Kajumi. Please let me know if I mispronounced that. I would love to be able to pronounce that correctly. Hopefully I did. Please correct me if so. Stuart 619 Bengals. Welcome. Glad to see you guys in here early. Love to see it. Yeah, DCTV on time. Say what? So let's go ahead and let me fix this for you guys. Was it August 27th? Man, September is what? This next week we'll get into September, right? Does anyone else just like really enjoy the month of September, or is it just me? Is the lighting a little harsh? It looks a little harsh on my screen. Let me know if the lighting's a little harsh for you guys. Yeah, Rams fans are obviously welcome in the stream. All I ask is just be respectful. You can be competitive and get your spirits out to each other. That I don't care about. That's just a sport, or just being a sports fan, specifically the NFL. All I ask is you just show respect, and you're cool to stand here however long you want. Obviously, I'm from Cincinnati, and I am a Bengals fan, if you couldn't tell. But every week we have different visitors from the other team coming in and tuning in, so I don't mind it at all. I just ask you to be respectful. Turn up the volume. Yeah, I can do that. All right, I just turned it up slightly. I don't want to turn up any more than that. If it's on your side, maybe you could probably turn up in yours, but I turned it up a little bit. Let me know how that sounds. Dennis said the Bengals are running through the AFC. What's up, Exotic? How you doing? How you doing? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get the stream out. Yo, guys, let's get the 25 likes. We're at 13 right now. I'd really appreciate if we get that to 25. I'm trying to get it up as much as possible before we get the game started, before kickoff. Let's get that up to 25. I'd greatly appreciate that. Also, hit the subscribe button. Join the DCTV family. And if you want to become a member like my boy Buzz Hodges right down here, you can do that as well. And I hope you guys aren't hungry because I'm about to snack right in front of you. So please, if you are hungry, look away for 10 minutes because I am going to chow down real quick if you guys don't mind. Thank you. Sounds fine. Dax Hill and Volson going to go off today. I like that prediction, Broken. I like that prediction. I think Volson is going to confirm that starting spot today. If I have a prediction, I think Volson plays his butt off today against, second string Rams. And, I think he confirms that starting spot there at the guard. I have a little bit to talk about when I was at practice this week. Some of the things I saw. And that's one of them. So I'll get to that in a minute. But watch out for the Rams defense today. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I will go ahead and, step to the side and say this real quick. Let's see. Oh wow, already.
Let's go, Cordell Volson. Day.
Huday, and thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, Cordell Volson, I think, is gonna once again confirm that spot. And Huday to you as well. Wherever you're watching this game from, let me know in the chat where you guys are from. I love seeing people all across the world tune in for some Bengals football. Oh,
the #1 hair color in the.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. Be right back. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. 7 strings L. I wish the Rams and Bengals played in the regular season. The fact we're only going to get a rematch in the Super Bowl kind of suck. Well, so my biggest takeaway from the fight was between both first strings. So it was between the first string Bengals offense and the first string Rams defense. So today we're probably, there's like a 99% chance we're not going to see either of any of those players that were involved in that fight. We're going to see guys on second and third strings, guys, trying to fight for the roster spots, guys trying to fight for playing time. So in my belief, I don't think we'll see that fire kind of, it's going to be, if there's fights or if there's beef, it's going to be between the guys that are trying to make the roster. They're trying to make the team. They're trying their hearts out to be seen, because if they go out there and fight and they're a borderline guy, they might not make the team because they got into a fight. They caused a 15-yard penalty. So I don't think we'll see much of that carry over, because like I said, the fight was between the starting groups, and today we're not going to see either starting groups, I would most likely believe. So that is kind of my thoughts of that fight and going into the preseason. So I will say that real quick as I'm posting these. Hey, buddy, do you think the Bengals fixed the offensive line for the regular season? What do you think about Daxton Hill? So, yeah, I mean, that was some of the biggest accusations in the free agency was all the signings we did. The Bengals definitely shored up 4 of those 5 starting positions. Saw Leo Collins from the Cowboys come over. Alex Kappa. You know, those guys coming over are going to make a huge difference, and they're elite offensive lineman material. Now, obviously, we have this position at guard that we've been struggling with, but I mean the Bengals did everything they could in free agency to bring over star talent to protect the star Joe Burrow. So yeah, I think the Bengals did as best as they could, and they also might be using their draft pick to start, which would be a good draft, you know. So I'd say the Bengals tried everything in their power to improve the offensive line, so I would agree with that. And then the other question was you said, oh, I was there. Sorry, I lost a. Oh, Daxton Hill. Yeah, I mean, he's something special. I wasn't in panic mode with the Jesse Bates. Is he coming back? Is he going? Because I mean, obviously he's a top 10 safety in the league, but I mean, Daxton Hill Dax Hill, he just looks special, man. He's got an elite talent, and at a young age to be able to come in and read plays like that. It's really hard for some of these younger safeties and really just secondary guys to come in and make immediate, big plays. But it seems like he's already ready for that moment. So I think it's nice that now he doesn't have all that pressure of coming in and starting and playing big time. I think he's going to be really well with the time he does get, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. Now, it's not worst thing because, Jesse Bates, he'll be back for this season, and if I had to assume the Bengals probably won't re-sign him after that, that would be my guess as of right now. I just think they have too many other priorities like offensive linemen, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I mean, there's a lot of star talent that I would sign over Jesse Bates personally because you got Dax Hill. And if he's really going to be that guy and has that talent, why would you lock up 3 safeties? Because Von Bell is also paid as well, and he's going to have to be re-signed in the next year or two. So I think the Bengals hit the lottery pick with Dax Hill. I think he has tremendous talent, and I think it's only going to help him that he gets to sit behind Von Bell and Jesse Bates and learn from them. Now, how many guys did come into the league, get drafted that high, and get to sit behind talent like that to learn from? So I think the talent mixed with the leadership that he gets to learn from it's going to turn him into a really special player when he does get that starting time. What are your guys' thoughts about that? You guys agree with me? Disagree? I mean, we haven't seen too much of him. We've seen a couple flashes, and the flashes are very promising. But I just believe, to sit behind Jesse Bates and Von Bell and learn from those guys, and the rest of the secondary as well. I mean, we have one of the best slot corners in Mike Hilton. Shadobe Awuzie is one of the most underrated players in the entire National Football League, and the list goes on. So it's a star-studded secondary that he gets to learn from and immediately, get to learn how to make big plays and be at that NFL level. Because it's a big difference from the NFL to college when it comes to secondary. How many sacks for Clay Johnston tonight? I would at least say 1.5, right? I mean, he's got to at least have a solo sack and then maybe a split sack between some boys. And, I think I like Jeff Gunter a lot. And, a lot of those guys that are fighting for actual playing time on the defensive line, I think we have pretty good depth this year compared to last year when it comes to those defensive boys down there. We had DJ Reader get hurt, BJ Hill. I mean, at some point, I think almost everybody was hurt on that defensive line last year, whether it was minor or major. I mean, we were just really short on guys on that defensive line. It got pretty thin there about middle of the season. So I think this year we have a lot of guys who, you know, if a guy goes out a week or two in that starting lineup, that we're gonna have guys to come in and play. So it's pretty promising to watch these preseason games. And, you know, obviously, for granted, these defensive linemen are going up, you know, against the backups, offensive linemen. But still, it's good to know that we're gonna have that depth this year, just in case, you know, similar to last year, some of these guys get hurt in a starting lineup up in the trenches, because, you know, the AFC North runs through the trenches. And I'm going to be honest, Stuart, I haven't looked too much into Jeff Gunter or Zach Carter to know too much about them, but I've been able to see enough of the group of these guys that are second, third, and really even fourth string trying to make the roster where, you know, if they don't make this roster here in Cincinnati, they'll go somewhere else and probably get some decent playing time. I mean, that's the type of depth we're talking that we have here in Cincinnati on the defensive line and even the receiver core. If you guys didn't see my YouTube, you know, my other video, go hop off and watch my receiver video for the receiver 4. I was basically just identifying, you know, how good this receiver depth is here in Cincinnati, and that, you know, if some of these guys get cut or don't make the roster for whatever reason, or if, you know, they throw them on the, I'm trying to think of it got away from me, but you know what list I'm talking about, that list where they put them on there, the practice squad. Geez, I don't know why that was so hard to remember. You know, I think some of these guys might get picked up from other teams. You know, that usually happens with, you know, the top 5, 8 NFL teams in the league. They just have so much depth in the roster positions that they got to let guys go that are going to be better for the top, you know, or for the bottom top 10 teams in the league. Or, you know, middle of the season, guys get injured. We saw the Ravens last year. I mean, their entire roster, their whole entire starting roster was out and injured at some point in the season. So, you know, a lot of these guys stay in the division, and we could see some Bengals players going to the rivals in the division at some point, you know, if they're not able to make the roster. Which is an unfortunate thing, but it speaks volume of, you know, the roster building that's been done here in Cincinnati the past few seasons. As I'm going to put on my jerseys, we're getting about 40 minutes to kickoff here. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button. Let's get to 25 likes before the stream starts, or before kickoff, and before the live play-by-play. Rocking the Super Bowl Joe Burrow jersey. What are you guys wearing today? Any Bengals gear we got on tonight? If you guys don't mind, I'm going to grub a little bit before the kickoff. I don't want to be grubbing when I'm doing the play-by-play, so I'm going to go ahead and get out the way. You guys are in the stream. Let me know where you guys are from. You guys from Cincinnati, Ohio? You guys from across the country? You know, I know we have some people in the Discord all the way from Ireland and just really all over the world. It's kind of insane how, you know, not just big DCTV is, but just how many fans across the world there are here to support Cincinnati Bengals when, you know, there's organizations like the Los Angeles Rams. Oop. Broken said he's repping the AJ Green. Classic AJ Green. Like it, like it. And here from Columbus. All right, all right. Well, Dennis, to answer that question, he's asking about Paycor and the Bengals. They already signed a contract. So, you know, I don't know what's in that contract, but, you know, I'm assuming there's already been money transferred over. It's like a 10-year or 12-year contract. It's a pretty lengthy contract for, you know, Paul Brown to be Paycor Stadium now. So, it's a lot of money. Let's just say that it's enough money where the Bengals are building this new practice facility that's going to be indoor, and who else knows some other upgrades and innovations that are going to go down Cincinnati over the next few years. 'Cause I'm telling you, this indoor practice facility is not going to be the only thing they build, because they only sold the naming rights to Paycor was because they just are the AFC championships and went to the Super Bowl. The Bengals have never been worth more in their entire life. You know, in the entire existence of Cincinnati Bengals, they've never been worth more. So they waited. You know, it's just like stocks. You wait until the stock is worth as high as you think it's going to be, and then you sell it at the peak. The Bengals did the exact same name, or the same thing with the naming rights, and they cashed out. You best believe they cashed out. Lord Gilson from Sweden. Wow, that's incredible. I'd love to visit. Definitely would love. I definitely would love. I know nothing about Sweden. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Let's do the 25 likes before the kickoff. And follow my socials, because like I said earlier in the stream, when I'm at the Bengals practices and everything, you'll see it. You'll see the information and the content I have there first. Watson said, "Who Dey from Huntsville, Alabama." Wow. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. I'm about less than 10 minutes away from Paycor Stadium, so I'm pretty close. But Alabama, that's a far drive. Just under 40 minutes till kickoff. We got a little bit of time here to kill. We got a Rams fan in here saying Rams versus Bills in the Super Bowl. Interesting. Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say the Chiefs, because it's funny, everyone always predicts the Chiefs to go in the Super Bowl, and the Bengals beat them what, like 2 or 3 times last season? And they still pick the Chiefs over the Bengals, just in their house nonetheless. At that point, I'm not even being a biased Bengals fan. I'm just looking at the stats and the truth. But to each their own. Bills are they have a very good roster, and they could definitely make it to the Super Bowl this year. I mean, we all know what Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is capable of. You know, I think the biggest question mark for the Bills has just been their defense. And, we've seen them in the playoffs last year. And what was the score of that game versus, what was it, the Patriots in the playoffs last year? I remember watching that, and I was so shocked. I mean, they just got spanked. I mean, I remember, I think a Patriots offensive lineman scored in that game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the Patriots. Whatever team it was, he literally scored. The offensive lineman scored in a playoff game because they were already winning by like 40 points. So, I mean, I definitely think the Bills are going to win their division and are very capable of going into playoffs. But they've just definitely struggled in the past. But, their roster isn't too old. I mean, Josh Allen's in his prime, or inching into his prime, I guess you could say. And, I mean, they got a stacked roster. They put up points, that is for sure. I was trying to get Stephon Diggs on my fantasy team, but it didn't work out. Anybody got any Bengals players on their fantasy team this year? Oh. Let me know if that fixed things, or if that's too dark. I think it looks a little better, but let me know on your guys' side. The lighting. Hooday, that sweet tea looks good. This is some good sweet tea right here. Shout out Raising Cane, sponsor me. Broken with the bold prediction. We're going back to Super Bowl, and I hope we rematch the Rams. That would be a cool rematch. I will say, when I was at the practice this week, Matthew Stafford, I know there's been some like reports about, oh, his elbow, Matthew Stafford, he's not going to be the same this year. He's old in his elbow. Guy threw darts. I mean, Matthew Stafford was balling yesterday from what I was able to see. So, you know, I'm not a believer of those reports. You know, you guys know I try not to be biased here. When I was at practice, maybe it was, you know, my first time up that close, you know, being a reporter at a practice, but still, Matthew Stafford was money. And here I am complimenting the Rams, and this guy saying, y'all ain't going nowhere, back to Super Bowl. It's going to be the Rams versus Bills. Interesting. You know, I want to believe that Packers are going to go far. What you could say is hysterical because of, you know, we see how they've been doing in the playoffs the past few years, and it just seems like they just crumble to pieces and disappear. Also, you know, they lose Devontae Adams, and who is Aaron Rodgers throwing to out there? A bunch of practice squad players. But, I mean, it's still freaking Aaron Rodgers, man. How could you count him out? And Aaron Jones, who's a great running back. You know, I don't know how far they're going to get, but you can never sleep on Aaron Rodgers. Come on. Broken said, what do you think about Joseph Asai? I mean, good young talent. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Not sure how much playing time he's going to see. That's with a lot of these guys. I mean, we got a lot of talented defensive linemen. It's just how much time are they going to see on the field? Obviously, we want Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, BJ Hill. We want these guys on there as much as possible. Even DJ Reader. I mean, we want those guys in there as much as possible. So those guys that are younger or just don't see the ball much, great talent. How much will we see them, you know, week 1, week 2, week 3, etc.? Thank you. Yeah, just got this jersey not too long ago. Thank you so much. Stewart said I chose T over Uno in fantasy. Now, you say you're an idiot. Obviously, Jamar has the better value when it comes to fantasy, right? I mean, he's a number 2 receiver, ranked receiver in fantasy. He's ranked number 5 in all fantasy on most places universally. But, you know, I think T. Higgins is going to get into the end zone quite a bit this year. Definitely think, you know, I was watching Higgins at practice, and he is just so abnormally athletic for his length. I mean, the guy was a head taller than Jalen Ramsey or any secondary for the Rams. He's so quick. He's just able to create so much space because his length. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just seeing him work up, being that close, seeing him work against these corners, it was absolutely ridiculous. his length and the way he goes up so high and he gets up. If Burrow can get that ball up to him, there's nobody on that Rams secondary that can get to that ball and make a play. It's just he's 6'4". So yeah, I think we could see a lot of end zone for T. Higgins this year. Jamar, him and Ramsey were working quite a bit one-on-ones and during practice this week. It was definitely interesting to see them side by side. And Jalen Ramsey, what a freak of nature that guy is. I mean, absolute unit. Doesn't look that big on TV. Looks like an average NFL player. His legs are like 90% of his body. He has the smallest torso I've seen on someone who's what, 6 foot, 6'1". So he has these super long legs. And when he's in his, let me do an NFL play here for you guys. So let's say like you're right here, right? You're the corner and you're right here and you're getting ready for the receivers facing me. His arms standing. I'm talking about, I'm looking at myself, and it's so funny. I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey. Seeing him up close at practice, his arms go to like literally almost to his calves. So that's how lengthy his arms are. So he's 6 foot 6'1", legs 90% of his body, super small torso. He's these long legs and super long arms, and they're just like dangling to his ankles. I was like, just a freak of nature, like the perfect build for a corner. Like if you're going to create a player in Madden, you want the Jalen Ramsey phototype. I mean, you could see why he's such a unit at that cornerback position, because his arms are so long and he can make super long strides because his legs are very long as well. So, I mean, he just has this, I've never seen a build like it in my life. So seeing that up close, like it was like, whoa, this I could see why Jalen Ramsey is one of the best corners in the league, arguably the best. I mean, he's just it's unexplainable. He was just, I've never seen a body like that. And you don't really pick up those things watching it from TV. And now seeing something like that is something I picked up in person, and it's just crazy to see. So it was cool seeing him out there. He had a sick visor he was wearing, which I'm not sure if he'll wear during the season. I know the NFL has been kind of a little more lenient on what players can wear over the past few years, but he had a super cool visor on at the scrimmage. Cooper Kupp, I mean, honestly, he looks so small on TV. Seeing him at that practice was unbelievable. He's so big for his build. Like, what is he, 5'10", 5'11"? He's so big for just that height. His arms were massive. His legs are big. It's just funny because on TV, you look at this guy and it's like, how is this guy the Triple Crown receiver? He's tiny. He's what, 5'10", 5'11", not that big. But then you see him in person and you see him from 10 feet away, and it's like, wow, like, I didn't think he was that big. For whatever weight he has him listed at, he fills that out more than you would, like probably over 10 pounds of what that would be. So I will say it was cool seeing Cooper Kupp up in person, because I didn't think he'd be that big. That guy was pretty big for his size. So any other players that you guys want to ask about that I saw in person, in my opinion, on about the scrimmage or anything, please let me know. I'd be glad to answer it. Stewart said, do we think we'll get better numbers for Chris Evans? I think so. I mean, that last preseason game, he had 3 big runs, and they all got brought back from holding calls. So I don't think it was entirely on Chris Evans, but yeah, you could probably predict a 65+ yards, maybe a touchdown for him tonight. He's definitely going to, I think he'll definitely try to be balling out tonight. I think they'll throw him a good screen or a couple out routes. It seemed like, Brandon Allen doesn't throw deep too much, so a lot of short to medium passes. I could see him trying to get the running back involved, and I would assume a lot of it would be Chris Evans. I did see the running back group. I didn't pay too much attention because where the running back group were, they were kind of on the opposite side. And when I did watch, I was kind of just paying attention to Mixon because I was watching the ones for majority of the practice, because the practice, it got cut short because once that fight happened, they wrapped it up and called it. But I honestly didn't get to bat an eye at Evans too much, besides like stretching. And yes, seeing Mixon was incredible. Massive. And he was with Burrow before, you know, they were doing the scrimmage, and they were kind of on the opposite field, but they were coming this way, and they were kind of just, you know, basically doing a walkthrough, and, you know, Burrow, Anderson are coming back, handing it off. Mixon's, you know, like 90% running down the field, and Mixon just coming straight at me. Like, him just coming straight down that field, even at 85, 90%, whatever he was at for just a walkthrough, his strides, and you could just tell, like, if he lowers his shoulder and he's coming through you, it's going to be insane. So I'll say that about Mixon. Then I said, hey, but are you on any platforms besides YouTube? This is the only thing I'm streaming on. I used to do a double stream with YouTube and Facebook, but I had problems with that, so I just stopped doing my Facebook live. But the other thing I'm mostly on is Instagram. If you guys want to see when I'm at the Bengals practices and, you know, any of the content I post, because I'll take videos and photos of the guys at the practice, follow me on my Instagram, because I'll post that all my story while I'm there. So that will be the first. That is where I post 90. I mean, I post there most. So my Instagram, number one, I put out some of my opinions and some content out on my Twitter. I'm trying to get more active on that as well. And then the Discord. If you haven't already joined the Discord, do that as well. There's over 150 people in there. All we do is talk Bengals football, and I put some of the content in there as well from these Bengals practices that I go to. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any other questions about my socials or anything, just let me know. Richard said, I was wondering if the Rams starter should be playing. From my understanding, I don't think we'll see any starters tonight. I think they're just too valuable on both of these rosters. I mean, these are two teams looking to get back into the playoffs. I don't think they need to see any more from their starters. And like I said, from the fight, it was the Bengals ones and the Rams one, or the Bengals offensive ones and the Rams defensive ones. So I don't think they're going to play those guys, considering they just got into a fight at the practice. I think we'll just see 2s and 3s from both squads. Not sure if there's a final update on that on Twitter, possibly. But that, from my understanding, that's what I would probably say. I just don't think there's any point. I mean, this is the last few days to call that 53-man roster. So I think they want to see guys that are on that borderline for both, you know, for both teams here. Houday Marvin, Houday Stewart. He said, Houday, I would say go Rams. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you guys don't see me get on here and bash the teams we play with. I've never done that my entire life. So that's, you know, it's not professional. I've never done that. No reason to ever do that. So, you know, I think, you know, do I give my honest opinion? Yeah, okay, we're going up against the Rams. Yeah, Rams are a great team. They just won the Super Bowl. You know, I'd be like, okay, this is going to be a tough game for the Bengals, you know, if it was during the season, you know. Then we play maybe the Jets, and I'm like, well, you know, the Jets are one of the worst teams in the league. This should be there's never an easy win in the NFL, but, you know, the Bengals are going to be favored big time if they play the Jets, or, you know, put in whatever bad team you want. Broken said I'm in a Twitter argument with the Steelers fan right now. Well, you lost me at Steelers fan. You're not going to get any valuable information from arguing with the Steelers fan, especially on Twitter, the most toxic of them all. Which, someone who, I love Twitter. It's my second favorite social media. Yeah, man, you're no hope for you arguing with anybody on Twitter, let alone a Steelers fan. Rams #1, says Gary. Welcome, welcome. Crow said, I'm at work. Just wanted to come in and drop a like. Houday, and congrats to 2,500. Thank you, Crow. I thank you, Crow. I really appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Regular season haven't even started. We already hit 2,500 subscribers. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It'll pop up on here with the little, well, we're lagging here. Uh-oh. Whew. Not sure what happened there. That was scary. On my screen, it showed that I was lagging, but I'm glad we're good. Oh, you guys still got me? Let me know if you still got me. I think we're good. That was scary. But yeah, shout out to all you guys. Hit the like button. And join the DCTV family. We're growing fast. Let's get to 30 likes before kickoff. I'd greatly appreciate it. And follow me on my socials as well. I'll give you a shout out. Shout out to Watson Graves. Follow me on Facebook. I appreciate that. Few more bites and then we gotta wrap it up. We're getting just under 20 minutes till kickoff. Let me know if you guys are excited in chat for that. What? Waiting to watch the Bengals game? Heck yeah. Uday Buzz, welcome in. Our proud, lonely member at the moment. Shout out Buzz. Stewart said, did you see Joe throw at practice? I did, yeah. I got to see both guys throw. Bro looked pretty well. I mean, you got to understand, he's still not 100%. He's still coming back from that surgery, what, a couple days ago, maybe a week by now? I'll tell you this, he was the last guy off the field. You know, both teams were immediately had to get off the field after the fight. Stafford, Burrow, a couple of those guys. And even Leonard Floyd and Burrow talked after the incident. And Leonard Floyd was the main cause, and La'el Collins were the main cause of the fight. And Leonard Floyd and Burrow were joking around. Well, I don't know the conversation and context, but they were walking off the field, lastly off the field. And, you know, Zach Taylor hugged it out with the Rams coach, as, you know, obviously him coming from LA. And I'm trying to digest. Yeah, so Burrow was the last one off. He also met with Matthew Stafford. They talked for a while. But once everyone left, Burrow was the last one on the field, and he was doing sprints up and down, back and forth. He's been doing that the entire training camp. At the end of each practice, he does sprints back and forth. And he was the last one on the field. So speaks his leadership and how, you know, how serious he's taking football. So very exciting to see him last one off the field. You're welcome, Gary. Appreciate you. Then so I think the Bengals could do a little more no huddle. Joe Burrow loves him. Bengals play better when they play faster. Yeah, I think we'll definitely see some schemes of, you know, when we got a defense on the back of their heels and they're getting torched, you can tell the defense is exhausted because the Bengals offense just wears defenses down because how quick how quick some of the drives can be. So I definitely could see, you know, Bengals having a priority of getting in plays quickly down the field because it wears the defenses down. So I could definitely see that as well. You know, hurry up offense was, you know, they definitely have a fast momentum getting down that field. Sean said, what about Aaron Donald swinging at home? Yeah, it was crazy. So that happened during the period of where you weren't able to film. So basically both teams agreed to that you could only film all news stations, ESPN, all the local news stations from LA, which I was able to meet a couple guys that were out from LA that flew in to report on the practice. We were only able to film for about the first 30-45 minutes, and the rest was photos only. And that was when the fight broke out, which was interesting that a video was leaked considering you weren't able to film at that time. But here are some photos I took from the practice. Let me see. It's probably not going to show up the best, but that's like a live photo. So that is from, you can literally see in that Aaron Donald with the Bengals helmets. And like I said, I took this Thursday at 3:32 p.m. Like I was there. So this is my content. So none of y'all try to act like it's yours. Here's another one. Let me see if I can get the focus up a little more. It's probably hard to see, but you get the point. Once again, we're unable to take videos. These are just live photos on an Apple iPhone. It's funny because in this one, you can literally see the Bengals helmet, the Bengals helmet held from Aaron Donald. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but you see that right there. That is the helmet, a Bengals helmet that Aaron Donald is holding, and literally whack-a-mole. And I'm gonna see if you guys can see it here. So once again, this isn't a video, it's a live photo. Crazy. So, like I said, that's why it was interesting that there was a video. It was leaked from one of the fans in VIP. The only people outside of reporters that were allowed at the practice were some VIP Bengals experience fans. And I guess someone had their phone out and decided to get it on the camera, which, like I said, wasn't allowed, but you guys got to see it, so good for you guys. But it was insane, man. I mean, I really don't know how to explain it. La'el Collins and Leonard Floyd were getting at it. That wasn't the first time there was a scuffle. They were getting at it all. Actually, 2 prior times they got into it and teams had to be pushed apart. The second time they got into a fight, a helmet popped off, and La'el Collins grabbed the helmet of the Rams player and was holding it in the air like a gladiator in a movie. So La'el Collins was holding this Rams helmet in the air like, I'm badass, nobody can handle me. So it was adding up, and then that happened, and coaches weren't really able to separate that one quickly like the other two. So it was building up. And it was funny because I wasn't at the practice the day prior, but Jeremy was, and Jeremy told me that it was pretty chill. Players were relaxed, respected, and there was really no beef at all. And that entire practice, from minute 1 to the last minute of the practice, it was crazy. It was hectic. So interesting how just a day like that could just change things. And then here was footage of the Zach Taylor interview. Which was on Fox 19. That was Jeremy asking the question. He was asking, you know, what probably caused it, or, you know, the rebuttals of what's going to happen. And Zach just played like, let's calm down. Let's relax, type of thing. So, you know, he kind of just cooled it off. Which most coaches were, you know, Sean McVay and Zach Taylor are buddies, so there's no reason he's going to go out there and attack or try to get the Rams in trouble, because a lot of people don't understand. They're like, why are the Bengals not pursuing it? Why are the Bengals, like, why is there not anything happening? It's because the Bengals would have to pursue it, and Zach Taylor is not going to pursue anything against Sean McVay and the Rams. Zach Taylor is where he is today because of Sean McVay. So that basically is the reasoning behind that. You're in the stream, say what's up in chat, say who day in chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know if you're having a good time and you're ready for some NFL football, baby. Just a couple minutes away from kickoff here. Let me know if you're excited. Bengals fan, y'all act like your team didn't do nothing like before that on the field. I'm not sure where you're getting that because I never said the Bengals didn't do anything. So I'm sure you're not talking to me. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you subscribing. You guys got any questions? Let me know. I mean, I still blame AD, Stuart, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, no one's hurt, so it's not that big of a deal. Run it back. We call Strong Rams said, we own the Bengals. Who is we? Are you on the team? Or do you work for the Rams? Just curious. Watching this Jaguars-Falcons game. Falcons are up 28-12 over the Jags. I wonder if they played any starters. Or how Desmond Ridder did. Anyone have any the stats on the Jags-Falcons game? Have the Falcons announced their starter? Does anyone know if the Falcons announced the QB starter? I'm intrigued this. You need to first be added. Whoa, what are you talking about? Craypup Plays says, what do you think the Bengals record will be? You will have to wait for my Bengals prediction video. But I'll give you a hint. The win column will be in the double digits. Yeah, I will be making a video for that this week. So stay tuned for that. Hude Stewart, Hude Craypup, Gary, Kajume. Stewart says 11-6. Sean says 12-5. Buzz says, anyway, you think we signed Bates, or is he gone no matter what next year? If I had to put money on it, I would say he's gone. I mean, I just logically, I don't think it makes sense to sign him, and we have Dax Hill, you know, coming up behind him, and then we just have so many other players I believe we have to focus on before Jesse Bates, and that's tough. Being said, Jesse Bates being one of the best safeties in the league, but you know, I think they're going to choose Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. The offensive line re-signings, you know, Jonah Williams, all the guys they currently signed are on a few-year deal, so we gotta, you know, they're gonna have time for them. Will they bring back? You know, I think Hubbard signs B.J. Hill, Logan Wilson in a few years. You know, like, you see where I'm going here. I mean, I just think there's so many other priorities that don't have as good as backups like we do in that position. Gary said Ridder did okay. No update on the starters, or no starters. Interesting. Not, I go to Xavier, but I'm from Cincinnati, born and raised, so I still like UC football, and you know, I hope for the best for those guys. Rams fanatic says Bengals lucky they even made the Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of luck, man. They didn't work their butt off to get there. Just a lot of luck. True. A lot of luck. Nothing was earned. Jason said, hello, Drew, Hayden Hurst, and Chris Evans. How well will they add more to the offense this year? Yeah, I think the Hayden Hurst is going to be a huge addition because, you know, CJ Uzomah was good, but he was honestly was more of a, I don't know how to say this. I mean, he still has good talent, but by no means is he a top 10 tight end. maybe top 15. He was just a locker room guy. And, you know, that brings a lot. And that adds to a lot. And it was exhausting that we saw him leave. But, you know, I wasn't too bamboozled by it because it's a business. And at the end of the day, there's bigger priorities for the Bengals than what CJ Uzomah was wanting. And, I mean, the reports were that CJ Uzomah took something similar to what the Bengals offered. I never knew if those ended up being true or not. I would assume not, because why would he go to the Jets? I don't know if those reports are ever so, you know, I don't know if those reports that came true or not, but you guys let me know if you find it. But besides the point, I'm getting off track here. Yeah, I think Hayden Hurst is going to add a lot because CJ Uzomah, as well as he never was that guy, he was that guy for Burrow that was kind of that blanket security guy, the guy that was over the middle of the field, you know, 4-6 yard, big conversion plays. Burrow, you know, pressure coming. He's got to get it out to somebody, a guy who's going to sit there and hang on to the ball. That was CJ Uzomah. And I think Hayden Hurst is that, but even more. I think Hayden Hurst is such a great, one of the best vertical tight ends in the National Football League. So I think it adds a whole nother dessert to this Bengals offense. To have a tight end that could do a curl route, a drag route for a couple yards, but then to have a tight end who can go down the field and get, you know, when they load the box, if they load the box against the Bengals, I don't know why they would do that with Joe Burrow and our receivers, but if they were to do that at one-on-one tight end versus linebacker Hayden Hurst has wheels for a tight end. So, you know, I think he's going to be some big plays down the field over the middle where I think some teams load the box one-on-one Hayden Hurst and a linebacker, or, you know, a linebacker safety kind of position guy. And I think Hayden Hurst is going to make a lot of plays in that type of position. Do I think he's going to lead the team in receptions, yards, touchdowns? No. But do I think he's going to add more than what CJ Uzomah brought? I think there's definitely a good chance. The one thing that he won't, that, you know, I don't know if he'll bring what CJ Uzomah brought was that team leadership, because Uzomah had that. It was very clear. So where that will come from now, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. And look, the bots are already in here. Say what's up to the bots, guys. Say what is up to the bots. Welcome, welcome. Chris Evans, I think it just depends on Mixon. You know, Bengals paid Mixon like a 3-down back. You know, he's supposed to be the workhorse. So I think Chris Evans will get that running back 2 spot. In my opinion, I think he should. So I think he'll be able to come in, hopefully be able to pick up some blocks. You know, it's not the most fun job, but, you know, you're going to need a running back who can do that, especially a backup. So I think that's going to be important. And I think he could be very important in the receiving game. You know, little screen passes, little out routes. I think it's going to be a lot of use from Chris Evans heading into the season. And I also think when Mixon needs a rest, because we know, you know, being that cowbell that we want him to be, he's going to get exhausted at points. And, you know, I think he'll be able to come in and make the plays that we need to. I mean, the Bengals offensive line, you don't need that great of a running back there to get some yards with the line we're going to have this season. So, you know, we're not going to see too much of him because of Mixon, but, you know, I think we'll see enough where we know his talent. Yeah, Broken said Uzomah was a focal point. Exactly, just like I said, he had that leadership in the locker room. Stuart said, Drew, you're so chill with folks. How do you do it? I know that I'm going to be in the business very soon, you know, so I got to keep it professional. But, like, how do I stay so chill? Like, at the end of the day, it's just a sport, man. People, you know, it's a sport we all love and we're very passionate about, but you just can't let people get under your skin. At the end of the day, you know, these are all humans. They have their own families. They have their own lives. And I think that's something, as I've been getting into the, you know, the business, you know, seeing these guys up front and interviewing players and, you know, etc. These guys are humans, man, you know. They're just going out there making a living for their families and, you know, a legacy for themselves. And a fan that's annoying or disrespectful, who is he to, you know, bring you down? The sport is supposed to, I don't know, I think why the NFL is so special is because it brings all the emotions out on people. But at the end of the day, you got to learn how to control your emotions. So. What's up, Gary? How you doing? P. Ryan should play fullback. Yeah, I mean, if we run an I formation, P. Ryan could definitely fit the fullback scheme. I just don't think you'll see I don't think you'll see I formation very often. And I believe we saw CJ Uzama at that fullback position as well last year. So P. Ryan kind of blew it in the Super Bowl. I mean, like I don't want to go that far, go there, but I definitely think they trusted P. Ryan a little more than Chris Evans at the time, and I wasn't sure why. But, I'd say I definitely thought a little differently on the backup running back, who they should have played or not. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of these bots. Jefferson, best receiver in the game. No one pronounce like him. I'd agree. The LSU boys, huh? Oh, it looks like I'm looking at the highlights for the Falcons game. Looks like Ritter did play. Oh, threw an interception. Off his back foot. Not a good throw there. But once again, no starter, so does come back and get into the end zone though. There's a touchdown there. Back of his end zone, lets it fly down the sideline. Back shoulder catch. What a beautiful throw that was by Ritter. Yeah, Marvin, I'm definitely satisfied with the signing of Hurst. I was glad they brought somebody in because Drew Sample did not sound like a good time for starting tight end. He looks more physical and aggressive than CJ. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we really haven't seen much of him so far, but we'll have to see. Will starters play today? I'm under an assumption no, but I haven't got a final say. But from being at practice and everything that went down between the starters, I would assume they would not play the starters because of the scuffle at the practice. These teams, I think, just have too much to lose, and I don't think they need to see any more from their starters. I think both these rosters know the guys they're playing. So, once again, you can check Twitter. Maybe there's an update posted there, but I would assume not. If you guys are in this chat, make sure you smash that like button. Let's get the 50 likes on the stream. Hit that subscribe button, join the DCTV family. And then become a member or donate as well if you would like. And don't forget to follow me on socials. That's where you'll see everything first. See if my alert box is working. Let's see. Oh, well, the alert box should be working because somebody already donated today. Make a pair of the great donated earlier. And we got that notification. Let's see if the subscriber one's working. Look at these bots already in here. I'm gonna spin the block for you, Drew. I got you. Game should be starting soon. A little behind because of the previous game, but we're just waiting. Kickoff should be any minute now. So if you guys are just now tuning in, welcome to the DCTV. Live play-by-play coming up here any minute now for kickoff. Still waiting for the green light. And the bots are flying in as well. The sub one isn't working? Interesting. Getting ready for kickoff here. Looks like Lattiseer will be able to return this one. Or is that Pryor? Set for kickoff right here. Number 8 for the Rams will be kicking this one off. Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. Partly cloudy day here. Matt Gay to kick it off. And we will have ourselves a touchback to start the game. So Bengals receiving first here. Or going to get the ball first. And it is Brandon Allen and Chris Evans heading onto the field. So for all you people wanting to know starters, I was correct. Looks like we're going to see second strings today. Oh, it looks like I lost the stream here. 1 second, quick panic mode. I've lost the stream here. Let's see. What? Give me 1 second, guys. Panic mode. What the heck? Ah.
Here comes the money.
Oh, why are we... Okay, so I have the game pulled up real quick. I'm gonna have to change it here at the time. It looks like the Bengals are already up to the 35 here. Brandon Allen under center. Mike Thomas in motion. Chris Evans up to left guard. Cuts it up the middle of the field. And he's gonna get to about the 45. So, looks like they're already trying to establish Chris Evans in the running game here. Back under center here. This time off to the left side here. And he's wrapped up in the backfield by the Rams defensive line there. Third down for Cincinnati. Hold on, guys. I've got a problem right here. I have it pulled up, but it might be a little behind. Crazy, it was just working a second ago. Now it's not. Third and 4 here for Cincinnati. It's going to be shotgun for Brandon Allen. Steps back to throw. Looks over to his right in the middle field. And that is a bullet and a catch by Stanley Morgan. One of the players I brought up in the video earlier in the week. Trying to make that receiver 4 spot. And that was a beautiful catch. And they're going to like that one. Shout out to Buzz. Houday. Let's have a good game today. No injuries. Sorry for the late reaction, Buzz. I kind of had to panic for a second. Yes, I agree with you. No injuries. No injuries. So, was just talking about Stanley Morgan earlier in the week. Wow, and they're going to say it wasn't a catch. So, it's now going to be 4th and 4, and the Bengals are going to have to punt. What? They cannot be serious. That looked like a catch to me. A booming punt by Drew Crispin that's going to send the Rams inside their 15. And that's going to take us to commercial break. 12:56 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Bengals start the game with the punt. Uh-oh. And we are in trouble. Oh, boy. Oh. Sorry about this, guys. Hopefully I can get this fixed up here. Sorry, guys. We're on commercial break, but I am scrambling to try to fix this issue. So please bear with me. Super frustrating moment here. And then the bots just continue to rain in. Come on, dude. You're not helping the moment. uh all right. See if I can fix this up real quick. Bengals poop emoji. Classic. Oh wow, so the punt was by Kevin Huber, but I thought Drew Crispin was gonna be the guy they go with. So Kevin Huber fighting to keep his starting punting job that he's had for over a decade. A run there by the Rams, number 34. A gain of about 2 before being stopped up pretty shy. Second and 7 for Bryce Perkins. Quarterback for the Rams. Got to see him earlier in this week at practice. Slings this one for a short gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short. That was to tight end there. And that was George, number 42 for Cincinnati on the tackle. So can the Bengals come out here and force a 3-and-out early in this game? The Rams send 5 and out here. Perkins almost picked off there. And they're going to have to punt. Trey Flowers, who looked great with the second string at practice earlier in the week, on the deflection. Zachariah said, it's over for the Bengals already, having to play their daddy, Aaron Donald. Well, Aaron Donald's actually not playing, if you knew anything about the game. But good to know. Good one, though. 4th and 3 punt here for the Rams. Dixon with a booming punt here all the way to the Cincinnati 30. Taylor down the sideline to the 50, the 45. What a return there by Trent Taylor. Was also spoken about earlier in the week on my game about the receiver 4 position. So Trent Taylor, good return there. Tippy toe down the sideline. Great moves there. And that's going to take us to commercial break. Dennis said, I was wondering, since you're a sports anchor now, I could definitely try, but the hopes of getting something right now, players are pretty locked in, don't do many interviews throughout the season, and I'm still trying to get this fixed, or this problem fixed. Hold on. Zachariah, just curious, how long have you been a Rams fan? Since 2021? Oh, this is frustrating. I don't know why, but hmm. At least this game was played on a good weekend. It's great weather. Brandon Allen under center here for Cincinnati. Great field possession here. All the way in Rams territory to start. Play action. Brandon Allen launching down the field. And that's Stanley Morgan on a huge catch. And that's going to be inside the Rams red zone. What a dime there by Brandon Allen. That is going to be his best pass of this entire preseason. And Stanley Morgan redeems himself. Like I said earlier in the preseason, some of the best route running on this roster. And Stanley Morgan is making his case to be receiver 4 this year. First and goal for Brandon Allen in Cincinnati. 4 receivers out. Chris Evans out of the backfield. They're going to toss it to him, and he's going to get inside the 5. What did I say right before the game? Chris Evans is going to be big if he's going to actually make any big moves this season. Where is it going to be from? Oh, that was Trayvon Williams, excuse me. Williams stopped at the goal line. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal from about 4 yards out. Good stop there by the Rams. Third and goal here for Cincinnati. Shotgun formation. Brandon Allen have anything up his sleeve? Pump fake. And he is sacked for a huge loss. Brandon Allen frustrated with himself there. And it's going to force a field goal here. Bengals going to have to settle for 3. He had enough time. I mean, he had 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. Just must have not saw anybody open. Good job by the Rams secondary there. And Shooter McPherson's going to have a 38-yarder here. Missed one last week, but from 58, understandably. And it's right through the uprights. Bengals start this game up 3-0 against the Rams here in the preseason. Sorry, guys. I know I'm not very hands-on, but I'm still trying to figure out another way to watch the game here. My original way didn't pan out. So I know I'm a little bit behind compared to normal. So trying to figure out how to fix that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have this fixed by hopefully the end of the first quarter, if not end of second. So I apologize. Bear with me. The lag will be fixed. McPherson set to kick this one away. Off the tee and to the 5. Returned. Spin move by number 38 for the Rams. It gets all the way up close to the 25. That's a good spin move right there. Second and 8 here for the Rams. Play action rolling out to his left. Jukes a corner out of his shoes that could have got a sack there, and he's going to get it to a manageable 3rd and medium. Good play there by Perkins. So 3rd and 6 here. 7:20 remaining in the first. shotgun for the Rams. Perkins looking, throwing, and almost picked off. Trayvon Henderson should be running towards the Rams end zone. What a play. I mean, it was like he was the receiver on that play. So Rams set to punt this one away. 4th and 6, 7 minutes remaining here in the first. This one's up, and away. Another booming punt here for the Rams. And he muffs the punt, falls on it. That Lattiser? Lattiser, the rookie. Woo! Don't want to see that. All right, guys. Yeah, so don't worry. I have this under control. Don't you guys worry. We have this under control. Marvin said last guy to drop a punt got cut. Not a good thing, but I mean, he's on a rookie contract, so if anything, he'd go to the practice squad. He wouldn't get cut. Yeah, definitely glad Cincinnati recovered the punt. That would have been a nightmare if they wouldn't have got that one back. And I would have really felt bad for Lattiser. And so here we go for Cincinnati. 6:54 remaining here in the first. Allen hands this one off to Evans. Spins out of a tackle there. And gets a good gain there. Hakeem Adeniji and others on the offensive line for the Bengals tonight. I see Mike Thomas back in there, which was interesting because I saw him at the practice earlier this week. But the rest of the preseason, he's been non-existent. So Bengals trying to extend the lead here. Brandon Allen 5 wide. We see the Burrow formation. We get some Brandon Allen time. Nice throw and a nice catch from the man we were just talking about, Mike Thomas. On the in route there. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. This offensive line doing a nice job there. They've done pretty well. I mean, that first sack in the red zone, I do not blame that at all on the offensive line. Brandon Allen had plenty enough time to make a decision there. 3rd and 1 for Cincinnati here. Allen with the QB sneak and grabs the first down and a lot more. So, guys, I'm going to black out the screen real quick just because I have to do something to black out the screen. So, it will be just a minute. I'm still commentating the game. But I'm just going to black this out real quick. Be right back in a second. That was a good play right there. Good offensive line push. That's something we see from the starters. But this backup team here, nice job. Fake toss. And an incomplete pass there by Brandon Allen. Trent Taylor was the intended receiver. Let's see if this works for the game. It should. Sure hope so. Evan breaks it down the sideline and gets the first down and more. Another spin move. Might as well call him the spin cycle tonight. But there's a flag, and this one might be coming back. Allen with time. Throws to the sideline. Incomplete there. Alright, guys, trying to figure this out real quick. And he's gone. Where? Oh boy. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. I finally got it. I was about to quit and give up on the stream, and I got it. I freaking got it, guys. I was about to literally end the stream because I couldn't figure this out, and I figured it out. And we should be up to date. Oh. So I'm at 41 seconds in the first quarter. There's a flag on the play. Rams have the ball. So let's see what happens here. Oh my gosh, I fixed it. Alan George, the rookie from Vanderbilt. So they're all the way at the Cincinnati 34-yard line. And the Rams take a timeout here. Sean McVay trying to make sure they capitalize and get some points on the board. McVay talking it over with the quarterback here, Perkins. Not gonna lie, I watched a bit of him at the practice earlier. He was one of the plays I saw him. He had a receiver in the end zone, and it was a nice back shoulder play that he made against the Bengals second string. So he looked really nice in the practice yesterday. The gray scales trying to make this Bengals roster. Let's see if he makes it for this season. Here we go. 5 wide for the Rams. 34-yard line of Cincinnati. Perkins pump fakes. Rushing out to his right. Throws on the run. And it's going to be incomplete. So with 8 seconds left here in the first, it's now going to be 2nd and 10. Shout out Brenda Harris, Brokens, and everybody else in the chat. Told you I'd have it done by the end of the first, and there's 8 seconds left in the first. Let's go. Gotta be on it next week. 2nd and 10 here for the Rams. Quick throw out to 84 Acres. And he fumbles the ball. Bengals are on it. Let's see if they call him down or not. The ball popped out there, and they're going to say it's Cincinnati football. The Cincinnati defense comes up big, gets the fumble, and gets the recovery. Oh, now they're saying he's down by contact. How can the refs do that? The refs literally were pointing down. They literally came over, pointed down to the Bengals sideline, and then before the end of the first, which is now commercial break, it's the end of the first, then they come back on over the radio and they say the runner was down by contact. So, how is a ref able to do that? I'm not sure. I know his knee wasn't down, but his elbow might have been. But it's still interesting, and it's still interesting that they can just immediately just overcall what they said. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know the refs were able to do that. If you guys are in here right now, let's get that likes to 50 before halftime. Let's get that to 50 likes. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get this subscriber number to 2550. And follow me on your social or on the socials already. I'll give you a shout out. Discord is in the link below as well. Whew. What a crazy first quarter this has been. And you know, these preseason games are usually won by the turnover. I mean, even the regular season perhaps, but you know, the offense usually isn't as explosive in the preseason versus the regular season. So the ball was secured when his elbow hit the turf. So like I said, they overcall it, and the Rams are going to be able to keep the ball here. So 3rd and 7 here for the Rams on the Cincinnati 30-yard line. They're going to go 4 wide here. Perkins steps back up into the pocket. Rose and a nice catch and a Rams first down there. McCutcheon on the reception. And the coverage there was really not there in the first place. I mean, he was kind of wide open. First and 10 here. Rams run this one up the gut. And a medium game about 5 yards. That's going to be Funk, number 34 for the Rams. Second and 6 here for the Rams. Play action. Swinging out to his right. Decides to take it on his own and just gets back to the line of scrimmage there. Perkins was about to get lit up by number 26 Anderson, but smartly stepped out of bounds and takes the 3rd down. 13:40 remaining in the first half. And we got a 3rd and medium coming up here for the Rams. Spam up B's for a Bengals stop and spam up R's for a Rams first down. Here we go. On the 11-yard line, Perkins. Under center. Receiver in motion. They're going to hand this one off up the middle. And he's got it and almost turned it up to the end zone. But the ball is out again. And the Bengals have it. And they roll Bengals football again. But will the Bengals actually keep this one? So Rams just got saved by the refs last time. The last fumble that happened, what, 3-4 plays ago? And the Bengals get another fumble here. That's going to be Funk, number 34, who had the first down, but this is a clear fumble. That is a clear fumble, and it is going to be Bengals football. So Bengals get just what they thought they had in the first place, and that was a turnover. And plays like that will secure your spot on this 53-man roster or the 16-man practice squad. Plays just like that. Any comments about the game so far? Bebop says, yes, sir. Brenda's hyped. Candy Cane's hyped. Like to see it. I'm not sure why the subscriber alert box isn't working. It should be working. Let me... Okay, so it is working. Somebody said it wasn't. Posting on the socials. And here we go. It's going to be Bengals football after the turnover. Rams cough it up not once but twice on that drive. One overturned and one the Bengals get. And here we go. Brandon Allen going to hand this off to Williams for a gain of maybe 2 or 3 there. Off to the right side of the offensive line. So Travion Williams getting some playing time in this game. Seeing where he's going to fit in this roster. The Bengals will have to go about 97 yards, basically the entire field, to get into the end zone here. Brandon Allen almost gets a safety, but he launches it deep. He has a man down the field. He's going to race all the way to the 44. That is Kendrick Pryor, the rookie, who I just made a video about earlier in the week, the receiver 4. And I said he was my receiver 4 heading into the 2022 season. And that is why. About a 40-yard reception there for Kendrick Pryor. Just man-to-man coverage. Burns the guy on the outside. And just the wheels get down the field. And makes a beautiful catch there. A good throw by Brandon Allen as well. That's going to bring him all the way to the Cincinnati 43. End around back to Pryor, as he turns it up for about a 2-yard rush. So the rookie Pryor trying to make himself that receiver 4 heading into the season. Still about 11 minutes left here in the half. What about that Cincinnati defense in this game? They've looked really well today. And a little miscommunication, and the Bengals and Brandon Allen are going to have to burn a timeout here. Looks like there was a little miscommunication between the receivers and Brandon Allen of the play they were running. So they burned their first timeout here in the first half. Not a big deal, just some preseason hiccups. Miscommunication issues. Bengals go 5 wide here. Williams listed as a receiver. Allen steps back, throws over the middle. And that's Irwin on the reception. So we're seeing all the possible receiver 4s get the ball. That's Irwin, a beautiful route on the linebacker, number 59 for the Rams. And that's a good gain for about 6-7 yards. And that's a Bengals first down. All the receivers trying to get some. They're really just trying to get this receivers 4 spot that we talked about earlier in the week. On the Rams side of the field, play action back to Irwin. And he gets a gain of about a yard. Brandon Allen in the huddle here, trying to see what they're going to do. I'm predicting a run here. Let's see what happens. 2nd and 9. Allen's now going to be line up under center. It is a handoff. This one's to Evans up under the center for maybe a gain of a yard or two. Chris Evans was mauled by a couple Rams players, about 2 or 3 of them there. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 8, and this is a pretty big 3rd and 8 here for the Bengals. Considering they're on the 44-yard line, not really field goal. You know, you need a couple yards at least. Brandon Allen, shotgun. Throw over the middle to Chris Evans. That's going to be close to the first down. And like I said before the stream, Chris Evans is going to be big out of the backfield in the receiving game, not just rushing game. And there it is right there. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. Let's see what the Bengals do here. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. Spam up B for a Bengals first down. Spam up R for a Rams first down. 4th and 1. Bengals are going for it. Shotgun, Brandon Allen. Throws over the middle. And it's complete to Irwin again. His 3rd reception of the drive. A little curl route there by Irwin. 5-6 yards. And that's all they needed. So the Bengals drive continues, and they're looking to put more points on the board. That was a good dissection there by Brandon Allen, as he had the out route receiver kind of open there, but that was the better choice there. Good blocking by the offensive line as well. Play action here for Allen over the middle. Unleashes this one all the way to the 15. That's going to be Lattiser, the other rookie, who muffed the punt earlier. Recovered it. Not a big deal. But sprinkling this ball everywhere across the field. Irwin, Trent Taylor, Lattiser, Pryor, Stanley Morgan, Mike Thomas, all the receivers I just named right there has a reception in this game already in the first half. On the 20-yard line, this is a handoff. Williams rumbling, stumbling for a good gain of about 6 or 7 yards there. Good blocking on that interior offensive line. Six minutes remaining here in the first half. Bengals doing a good job to get down the field, but also take some time off of the clock. Brandon Allen, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun, pump fakes, throws, and he's wrapped up for the sack. Michael Hoyt, 97 for the Rams. And Allen kind of just ran right into that one. And who else other than Jackson Carman? Jackson Carman will not be the starter week 1. There's no way. He's getting burnt by number 2, number 3, number 4 defensive lineman right here. So that now brings up a 3rd and 12 and backs him up all the way to the 22-yard line. Brandon Allen throws. Oh, and it is dropped by Kendrick Pryor. It would have been about 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. But still, for him to be receiver 4, he's had a couple drops this preseason. You know, it's like what they talked about Jamar Chase last year and the couple of drops he had. Kendrick Pryor struggled with the drops all preseason. So that brings up Shooter McPherson onto the field to attempt a 39-yard field goal here. The kick is up. Money McPherson, and he cashes out. Bengals extend the lead to 6-0. Spam up B's in the chat. 6-0 Bengals. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Wow, a lot to dissect there on that drop. Definitely would have liked 6 instead of 3, but we'll take the field goal. I'll put out the negatives before the positive, and the negative is definitely the Jackson Carman. I mean, he literally single-handedly killed that drive by letting up that sack, and he got burnt to a crisp. So the Volson tour of him, the rookie Volson, to take that starting guard job is looking better than ever. Looking better than ever. Now, I mean, that's why I made that video earlier in the week, and I'm surprised to me, it definitely underperformed. I mean, it only has 300 views, and I was kind of shocked by that. I mean, it was my first video in a long time, not outside of live stream, so I didn't expect it to do, like, amazing, but I thought it would have been more of a hot topic going into this week. But I think it will be after this week. Maybe I made it a week too early. Maybe I should have saved the receiver 4 question mark video till this week. I think there's going to be a lot of people questioning that because, I mean, Kendrick Pryor looks like he has the lead, but he's also had a couple drops. Irwin doesn't drop the ball. Taylor can make some sideline plays. Stanley Morgan has great route running and gets open. Creates a lot of pressure, or creates a lot of room. Lattiser is really quick. Such a tough choice. What are you guys more excited for? The Bengals versus Bills or the Bengals versus Chiefs game this year? The kick is off here, and it's going to be a touchback. That one goes sailing through the back of the end zone. And the Rams offense will have 5 minutes and 20 seconds to get some points on the board in this first half. Rams goes shotgun here to start the drive. Perkins throws over to his left and just misses McCutcheon there. Or McCutcheon. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Jesus said Bills. Yeah, that Bills game, I'm definitely excited for that. That's going to be a fun one. Second and 10 here. And Perkins get the drive going. Funk is still in the game for the Rams. They give it to him here, and he gets a gain of maybe 2 or 3. Big old 93 Gunter there on the stop. And the Bengals collapse on Perkins and get the sack. And that's going to force a punt. And Bengals are going to have a chance to put more points on the board. And that's going to be Spence on the sack. Spam up sack in the chat. Bengals hit home. And they're going to have plenty enough time to get on the board here. If you can't sub to me, maybe you don't have your YouTube account set up. That would be my only guess. 4th and 12, they punt this away. Fair catch signal, and Lattiser hangs on to this one. Looks like we got a lot of people answering Bills in the chat. And somebody on the special teams unit for the Bengals is called for holding, so not sure if they'll make the team, but that's going to push the Bengals back a couple of yards. Commercial break, 6-0. Just under 4 minutes. Bengals have 4 minutes and 2 timeouts to get some more points on the board. Yeah, if you have a account set up, I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to subscribe. What do you guys think about the first half so far? You guys got any comments? Guys, we're at 43 likes. Let's get that to 50 before halftime. I'd greatly appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't joined the DCTV family already. And follow me on Instagram. I'll give you a shout out. You can join the Discord as well if you're looking for a group chat of Bengals fans. Over 150 of them in there. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying your time here. Yeah, I mean, the game so far is looking pretty well for the Bengals on all sides. I honestly knew it was going to be a pretty throw-heavy game for the Bengals just because there's so many questions about the receiver position. I mean, we're still waiting to see what happens. But the defense is definitely the more surprising thing. They've done a fantastic job so far. I think they have 2 or 3 3-and-outs, a fumble, a sack or 2. I mean, these guys are just, the defense has been very impressive. And now they throw Browning as quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. So Brandon Allen checks out, and Jake Browning will check in. Let's see. I mean, this is a good, 4-minute warning, or 4 minutes to get down the drive and put some points on the board. Let's see what he can do. hand this one off. That's Patrick. Well, here comes in the dirty yellow laundry onto the field. And there's a holding call. And guess who? Could anyone guess in the chat who that holding call might be on? You probably guessed right. Jackson Carman. He is losing him. He is himself has lost his starting role. He's the only one to give up a sack in today's game. And also a holding. And before the next play gets started, there's another flag on the play. And it got called dead because Zach Taylor called a timeout right before the snap. So, not great time management as we already burned a timeout and haven't really got anywhere. 3:18 left here in the half, and we haven't really moved the ball. If matter of fact, we're now 1st and 20. We've moved, but in the wrong direction. So now from the 12-yard line, Browning, good time to throw, gets this one out. Pryor breaks a tackle, a juke moving up the field for a couple extra yards. And that should bring up a 2nd and 8 or so. Kendrick Pryor putting on the moves after the catch. Good throw there by Browning. A little bit of a lob, but I think he did that on purpose so Pryor could cut back to the ball. And Browning handed that one off to Williams, and he got destroyed. Couldn't even make it back to the line without getting whopped by 96 of the Rams defense. He came off the line unblocked and put the hurting on that running back. Third and 8 for Cincinnati on their own 24. And a free play. And he's going to unload it all the way down the field. Overthrown. But it should be a free play because it should be a neutral zone infraction by the Rams. And the same guy who just got that good tackle for loss was now offsides. 96 for the Rams. The incompletion doesn't matter. 2-minute warning hits. It's going to be a 3rd and short, I believe, with 2 minutes remaining. The beloved 2-minute drill is going to be real here for Drake Browning, the quarterback number 3 for Cincinnati. Gonna have 2 minutes right here before the half to try to get some more points on the board and extend the Cincinnati lead. Marvin Davis. This isn't the first time I've heard that this week. That he's looking like the next Billy Price. I'd be lying if I said I was the first time I heard that this week. What do you guys think is going to happen here with 2 minutes left. Do you think they're going to get this first down and move down the field? Or are we feeling a punt right here? I want a first down, but I have a feeling it's going to be a punt. Call me Negative Nancy, but if I had to guess. No, Jackson Carman will not be starting any more or any games this season. I'd put money on it. And the other position the Bengals are kind of waving right here is the punter position. Drew Chrisman has looked like he's looked really good this preseason, but they've also put in Kevin Huber this game, the longtime Bengals punter. And I don't know. I guess they're trying to give him, you know, his last chance to continue his career in Cincinnati. But I personally think Drew Chrisman's been the better of the two. Hate to say that of, you know, Kevin Huber. Don't want to see him go, but I just think Drew Chrisman has so much more leg power. I think, you know, Kevin Huber's legs got a little weaker as he's gotten older. Joe Burrow on the sideline. So let's see what this Bengals backup offense can do. Brownie looking over the middle, and he has a man, Trent Irwin, and he's gone to the 50-yard line. A huge Bengals first down. Trent Irwin has had a monster game so far in his first half. A little curl route over the middle of the field, sits on it, breaks the tackle from the safety, and turns up to the 50-yard line. Here we go, Bengals. A run up here to the outside. Williams trucking forward for a gain of about 6 or 7. And just like that, Bengals are already in Rams territory. About 70 seconds remaining here, and only one timeout. Another big play here, and they'll be solid. Browning steps back, throws over the middle. That's Irwin again for another possible first down. It's going to be close. Just under 60 seconds, and all the way to the Rams' 35-yard line. This is amazing. Shotgun again for Browning. In the pocket, throws, and a sideline catch by Irwin. Are you serious? Another Cincinnati first down. That one was about 15 yards or so. Trent Irwin on the sideline, and he steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Already in field goal position, 41 seconds left. Because he got out of bounds, the clock has stopped. Wow, Browning looking really impressive here this drive. And Trent Irwin as well. Back-to-back big plays. Browning throws. Williams breaks a tackle and so close to getting out of bounds, but not there. That was about a 7-yard gain. And the Bengals will call their third and last timeout of the half. So Bengals burn their last timeout. So now you got to be careful here. You only got 30 seconds and you have no timeouts to stop the clock. You got to be careful here. They're probably pretty lenient with just settling for 3. If I had to guess, they'll try to go for one big play here. They need 17 yards to get into the end zone. If I had to guess, they're going to make a big play here. If they don't make the big play, they'll probably just relax and settle for 3. But let's see. It's 2nd and 5. Jake Browning in the pocket, throws to Williams again, gets the first down, turns it up, and he's inside the 10. Bengals hurry up, see if they can get the ball off. They can either spike or just run another play here. Wow, it's taking long to get back. 10 seconds. Take a shot here. First and goal. Irwin sideline. Oh my gosh. And he just misses the back shoulder catch. That was actually a really good throw by Jake Browning. To hurry up to the line and throw this back shoulder throw to the end zone, it hit Taylor right in the hands. That is a touchdown. He should have caught that. Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful throw by Jake Browning. He might win the quarterback 2 position. 6 seconds left and the offense stays on the field. Wow. Got to be quick here. Browning throws, end zone, touchdown Bengals with 2 seconds remaining. And that's Thaddeus Moss in the end zone, the son of Randy Moss. But there's a flag on the play. And they're going to say Thaddeus Moss pushed off, and they're going to call the OPI, offensive pass interference. Oh, so that one comes back. That's a pretty weak call. That's a pretty NFL play. 90% of the time, that does not get called from a play like that. So Money McPherson comes onto the field for an easy 35-yarder right in the middle, lined up in the field. A preseason type of kick, and it is right through the uprights. Bengals extend the lead to a 2-possession game, 9-0. How impressive, man. That was really awesome to watch right there. To see Jake Browning come onto the field and make some plays like that, I am so shocked. So, halftime, Bengals lead 9-0 over the Rams. I don't know what I'm more impressed with, the receivers or the defense. This has been a great preseason showing for the Bengals. As so far, the defense has a shutout, and the Bengals and the offense has 3 field goals. This close to 6 there on that drive. I mean, it was a beautiful back shoulder pass by Browning, right off the fingertips of the receiver. But it's all right. They still got 3. They still got 3 more on the boards. Extends it to a 2-possession game. So if you guys haven't already, it's halftime. Smash that like button. We're at 47 likes. Let's get over 50. If you haven't subscribed, join the DCTV family. What are you waiting for? Get active in the comments and follow my Instagram as well. If you also want to help support me and join the members list, you could do that as well as Lonely Buzz right here. He's lowly on the member list. And he's also the recent donator, so shout out to Buzz. Wow. Good first half football, man. I was really exciting to see that our QB3 is outplaying our QB2 right there. The defense just looked very exhausted, and Browning came onto the field fresh and just looked like he was way more energized, focused, and ready to get down the field. So very impressive there. Marvin says SMH. Hey, man, don't hang your head on it. I mean, at least they got points on the board, right? I mean, it's not the end of the world. 3 points is 3 more than 0. They could have had the end zone, but we still got 2 more quarters of football left. There's really no big deal. And let's be honest. Did you guys expect Jake Browning, our QB number 3, to come in and move all the way down 90 yards of the field in under 3 minutes? I know I didn't expect that, so I'm not complaining at all. Very impressive from our 3rd string to move down the field that quickly. Moss was just robbed the best highlight of the season. I agree. I keep my bias out of it. You guys know that. And that was just an NFL play. Moss did what you go and do. It's called a pick. It's like an illegal pick. You go in there, you act like you're just, blocking or whatever, and then you turn around, and then the quarterback's going to hit you right there. It's like a curl. And he did the same thing. There was contact. It was kind of just him and his shoulder defender, and then he kind of gets away and comes for the ball. I mean, it's so common in football. You see the top tight ends do it all across the league. Travis Kelce and all those top tight ends, they do it almost every game, and they never call it, but they call it right there, and I was kind of shocked. So, the son of Randy Moss, Thaddeus Moss, did get robbed. I agree. But what are you going to do about it? It's the preseason for not just the players, but also the refs. So you got to cut them some chase. Addison said, any idea why NFL Network moved off the Rams game to show the replay of the Raiders? I don't get that, because that's what I had a problem with in the first quarter, was because I was watching it off NFL Network and then they pulled it. So I'm not too sure about that, Addison. It is halftime. So it's halftime. But early in the game, I was on the app and that happened. I had problems, but it was fixed for me in the end of the first quarter for the second quarter. But yeah, now it's halftime. My biggest takeaways here for this first half is Volson's got to be the day one starter. I mean, it has to be confirmed. That first half, Jackson Carman was just terrible. Holding calls, giving up sacks, just bad. Bad football by Jackson Carman. And I think he's easily playing himself out of the league. And especially out of the starting role. That was just bad football all around. Volson's got to be day one starter. Number 2 takeaway, receiver 4 is obviously still up for grabs. I know I made the video early in the week with my prediction being Kendrick Pryor, day one starter, for receiver 4. But, I mean, these guys, these receivers are balling. Lattiser has a catch. Taylor has a catch. Irwin has a catch. Pryor has a catch. Mike Thomas. The list goes on. So, it is really, really hard to pick a receiver 4 here. Takeaway number 3. Bengals defense has really good depth. Really good depth. Shout out Richard in the chat. Run it back said Bengals still trash. True. You know how many times that Rams beat the Bengals? That not even funny. Classy. Jake is impressive. What's his chances of making this roster? I think it depends on a couple positions. It depends on how many receivers they keep. Because, like I said, it's such a battle. They can keep some of these guys because they're also on special teams. It depends about the punter. They have Kevin Huber and Drew Chrisman. I think it's unlikely they keep both, but if they did, you're gonna have to cut at some other positions. On the defense, the same thing, like secondary depth. It kind of depends on those type of positions, because if you don't hold as much depth, then you can have 3 quarterbacks. But some teams only hold 2 quarterbacks, depending on the roster. I don't know if Browning, or if Jake is eligible for, I don't know if he's eligible for the practice squad, because I would say if he's eligible for the practice squad, that's probably where we would see him, but I'm not too sure on his eligibility for that. So I think him making the roster at QB3 makes sense, but it just depends if the Bengals hold 3 QBs on the roster or if he drops down to the practice squad. Last week, they cut the other quarterback, Drew, and, you know, because they definitely weren't going to hold 4 quarterbacks. Addison said, as a Seahawks fan, I was very disappointed to see the Bengals lose in the Super Bowl. I understand. I mean, Bengals, a lot of people are rooting for the Bengals because they want the underdogs to win. But I don't think there can be disappointment in the underdog losing. But I know a lot of people was pulling for the Bengals because they're the underdog. Brenda said, who is winning the NFC North this year? I mean, I definitely think it's going to be between the Bengals and the Ravens. I don't know how you could think anything else. When it comes to winning, and I think if there's 2 teams that come out of the division that go to the playoffs, it's going to be between the Bengals and the Ravens. You know, the Browns are going to be without Deshaun Watson for, what, 11 weeks? And the Steelers, it's a new look roster. Rookie quarterback, some rookie receivers. It's going to be interesting. I think the Steelers have the most question marks out of the division. So that's why I don't put them up there. And kind of same with the Browns. I mean, Deshaun Watson comes back week 11, but being away for football for, what, 2 years now? Is he even going to be the same when it comes to week 11? Is he immediately going to hop on week 11 and be amazing? You know, the Deshaun Watson of once upon a time? Or 2 years not on the field is a long time. So I just think a lot of question marks on those 2 teams, and I think Ravens and Bengals are the 2 teams that have the least amount of question marks, and everybody knows what they're capable of when healthy. So that's my take. Marvin said, not looking good for Jackson. You'd think we can make some type of trade. I just don't see the trade that we did with Billy Price to get BJ Hill happening with somebody of, you know, that was just pure luck. I mean, I don't really know how we fooled them that bad. I mean, I guess not really luck. It wasn't pure luck. I take that back because it's a lot of good management. The fact that they were able to get BJ Hill for Price Hill, or not. I mean, Billy Price Hill for Billy Price. Very impressive. So, I mean, I would love to see it, you know, drafted that high. There's still going to be some leverage, you know. Oh, he's a first, second round pick, yada, yada. You could take him, but, you know, do I see it happening? No, but I could have happened perhaps. Matt said Watson looked rusty. I know. You can't, you know, no matter what sport it is, you drop it for 2 years and automatically come on to play at the best level. I mean, there's no higher level than the NFL. And it's going to be the crunch time of the year, you know? Week 11, heading into that second half of the year, he won't be able to afford to lose a game. Because they're not going to go 11-0. I doubt if they even go 500. You know, if he gets the team at 5-5, that would be surprising. You know what I mean? So if he's at the team at 5-5, those last, 6-7 weeks, he needs to win like 90% of those games to make the playoffs. So I just think it's unlikely. Statistically and realistically, I think it's unlikely. Could it happen? Sure. So it'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. Watson looked rusty in the oh, wait, we just read that. I'll be glad when the season starts. Oh, you and everybody else. Gino's going to be the starter for the Seahawks this season. I'm not holding my breath for more than 5 wins. I saw that. I saw the performance Drew Lock had against a second string defense. So I don't know. I'll say this, Edison. I have Russell Wilson and Matt Stafford are my 2 quarterbacks in fantasy. In week 1, I'm playing Russell Wilson because he plays the Seahawks week 1. It's the revenge game, baby. So I think Russell Wilson's going to go crazy against you guys week 1. I think he's going to at least have 3 touchdowns. So I'm playing him week 1 because I think, he's going to go crazy. And it sucks, I know it's got to suck as a Seahawk fan to see Russell Wilson leave, but at least he went out on somewhat good terms. And, I mean, you guys still have a good roster. You're just also in a pretty tough division. But, I mean, you guys got Pete Carroll, who's a relatively respectful coach. The oldest coach in the NFL, I believe. And you got playmakers, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Seahawks are without Russell Wilson. I just think they're going to be a little lost. I know Price Hill is a neighborhood in Cincinnati. I'm aware. Mixed Billy Price and Hill with BJ Hill. What do you get? Price Hill. So the kickoff is off here. Start of the second half. And it's a touchback. So Rams are going to start at the 25. A handoff here. Good gain about 3 yards. That's Jeff Gunter on the wrap up there. Need to trade one of these backup receivers for a backup O lineman? Possibility. Possibility. Three receivers out to the right here for the Rams. 2nd and 7. QB sneak here. Perkins gets about 6. Needed 7. And some dirty yellow laundry comes flying in late after the play. Did I say QB sneak? QB keeper? It's going to be holding on the Rams, number 46. Looks like Noah Spence missed a tackle there. Johnston wrapped up. The good backup, kind of leader on this backup defense. $14 left here in the third. 2nd 11 after the holding call. Perkins still in the game. The only quarterback today for the Rams. Dumps it off to the running back Funk. Only picks up a gain of about 4 or 5 before Johnston was all over that. He had like a 20 tackle game last week. No kidding. Go check the stats. So he's one of the players I hope makes the roster. He plays with a lot of heart. Probably wouldn't see the field much, but when he does get in there, he'll try his best. 3rd down and 6, 4 receivers out. Perkins steps in the pocket. He's wrapped up and he drops the ball. The Bengals defender tries to pick it up instead of falling on it. And so the Bengals don't recover. I doubt he makes the roster because of that. Instead of falling on it, he tries to scoop it and score and misses the ball. Let's see who got the strip here. 95. And number 69 tries to pick it up. Johnston or Johnson the third, whichever one. Tries to scoop and score and misses it. And the Rams recover. I believe 95's Noah Spence. A fake punt! Oh, wait, no, it's not. I have to chill. That was not a fake punt. A booming punt. Lattice here. Goes nowhere. A good tackle for number 36 for the Rams. Bengals will take over. 12 minutes left in the third. 9-0. Wow. Let me relax for a second. That was kind of crazy. Let me get it together here. What just happened? That was kind of crazy. So, oh, yeah, the sack strip, whatever you want to call it. I believe it's Noah Spence, number 95. Great play. And when they tried to scoop and score instead of falling on it, it's okay. They still punt. Bengals football just a lot farther down the field than they would want to. Addison said, we have a high-quality defense. I think our defense will hold our own, but our offense isn't going to be able to do anything. I'm still stuck on the Raiders rerun. That's awful. I need Perkins to get over 160 yards for my fantasy. Not looking great. I mean, look, on the upside, they have... I don't know if they're playing any other quarterbacks tonight. Not often does one quarterback play a full preseason game, but he's played the entire first half and he's starting the second, so... Look at it like that. What's up, Mick? What's up, Daniel? I'll tell you what, I hope they bring Jake back out for quarterback. He looked great at the end of that first half. He looked fantastic. Make sure if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Our goal is 2550 subscribers here on DCTV. Join the DCT family if you haven't already. And follow my socials. What's up, Jennifer? How you doing? Big FC Cincinnati game should be starting. So, Jake Browning back onto the field. Let's get it going here. Brogan says we could bomb it early drive. Let's see what we got here. Shotgun. Big run to go up, start the drive right up the middle. The former Oklahoma Sooner. No, not Joe Mixon, but Travion Williams. Good second level blocking down the field. Matter of fact, who was that? Is it who I think it is? Second and 2 here. Play action. Browning in the pocket, throws down the field. Excuse me. A crossing route, and that's Irwin again. And another Cincinnati Bengals first down. Irwin having a monster performance and securing his spot on this roster. That's all the way to the 50-yard line. And let's give some Jake Browning some love. He's playing a heck of a game so far. A run out here to the left. And it gets only about a yard there. Travion Williams still in the game. Second and 8 midfield here for Cincinnati. Quick throw, almost picked off. Pryor hung on to it. Woo-hoo. I have no idea how Pryor hung on to that one. That very well could have been an interception there. It was a slant route. The safety came over almost on top of the ball to help alongside the corner, and Browning smiles and looks over to the sideline after play. Kind of looking at like, whew, that was a close one. 3rd and 3 for Cincinnati. Rams almost gets the sack. Browning evades the sack. Throw on the run, and it's incomplete and out of bounds there. Good job by Browning evading the sack on his blind side as well. That was 51 for the Rams. Got back there quickly, but whiffed on the sack. So Kevin Huber fighting for his career. Because I think if the Bengals drop him, I don't think anyone else would pick him up. Hunts from the B logo midfield and puts this one on the 11-yard line. You'd really like that inside the 10. So 9:29, Bengals punt the ball away. Rams will receive. Can they put points on the board? Mike Murray said, what do we think on the over-under? I didn't check the over-under. Let me check what that is. I mean, probably the under, right? That's only 9 points in the game. What's the... Is it 36.5? Is that what I'm looking at here? Bengals were favored by 2.5, huh? Well, yeah, I don't think 37 points will be scored, so... But who knows? Who knows? Maybe the quarterback Perkins for the Rams will put up 30 real quick. But, I mean, if you went on the Bengals getting the W, the 2.5, it's looking good. Funny, there's a lot of Paycor commercials. Sorry, talking to people in the Discord if you want to join that. Link in the description. There we go. Perkins still the quarterback for the Rams. Interesting. Watched him earlier at the practice this week. He's going to be under center from their 10. Same running back as well. I believe it's Funk. I think they've had the same quarterback running back combo this entire game. Bryce Perkins, 2nd and 12 here. Steps back to the goal line. Slant route thrown. Gain of a couple there. Just not very vertical today for the Rams. Interviewing Hayden Hurst, talking about why he joined the Bengals. Talking about Joe Burrow, of course. Why else would you join the Bengals? 3rd and 4 for Perkins. They're out to the right, out route. What a catch. 42 or 43 was all over him on the coverage, but he still brought in the reception. Perkins under center. Puts number 84 in motion. A run out here to the right. Breaks out a 1 and pushes up for a gain of about 8 there. Good run. Second and 2 here. Another run. Wrapped up by big old 93 Gunther there. Having a pretty good game so far. So that's going to bring him a 1st and 10 for the Rams. Finally starting to piece something together. Took him 3 quarters, but still not even at midfield. Play action tossed it to number 46 for a gain of a few. Wrapped up by number 47 for the Bengals. Starting to see some numbers I haven't seen this preseason. So it's getting to that crunch time where guys that are 54th, 55th, 56th, 57th on that borderline of the 53-man roster. Looks like they're getting tossed in there about now. Make a play. Get you a roster spot. Come on, guys. 2nd and 7 here for Perkins. Pump fake. Pressure's there. Thrown. Almost picked off, but 84 Acres hangs on to that. Hendrickson, who forced the fumble earlier. Trayvon Hendrickson was all over that. I thought he possibly picked it off. That was the best coverage you could possibly have, and Akers still made the play. What a nice throw there to fit that in there. That was threading the needle. But there is an injured Bengals player on the field. And it is Henderson, excuse me. Trayvon Henderson. I apologize. Looks like he's going to go to concussion protocol. Heading into the blue tent. Perkins, play action, steps up in the pocket, evades the pressure, running out to his right. He's going to run. Johnson wraps him up and tosses him out of bounds. The Rams are just craving some points. But will they get on the board here? I'll tell you what, this third quarter, there is a ton of pressure on Perkins. That defensive line is getting after him. Johnson only his 4th tackle. Last week had about 20, 16 solo, if I can recall correctly. 4 receivers out. Perkins, quick throw out to his left. Number 4 on the reception. That should be good enough for the first down. That's going to be Trammell. First time I've seen him tonight. Looks like a mini Cooper Kupp out there. And another first down for the Rams. That's going to move them to the Cincinnati 42. So they're getting real close to getting into field goal range here. But not quite there yet. A run up here to the left, cuts it up the middle. And another fumble, and it's going to be Bengals football. The running back loses another fumble. And Hood, number 37 for the Bengals, picks it up, and it's going to be Cincinnati football. That is the 3rd forced fumble tonight for the Bengals, the 2nd one they've recovered. Number 31, Thomas, and number 45 for the Bengals. 45 punched it out of the running back, Regis, and Hood falls on it. So right when it was finally going good for the Rams, they were moving in the field goal range. It was looking like they were going to get some points on the board. They cough up the football for the 3rd time tonight. Spam up some B's in here if you're a Bengals fan. Wow. Big play there. And that's exactly, I mean, this defense has been incredible tonight. These guys are out there. They're trying to make plays to get on the roster. I mean, this is life-changing for some of these guys. Whether they make this roster and they get paid or not. And if you want to make a roster, or specifically the Bengals, even if you don't make the Bengals, you could make a different roster. But if you're trying to make the roster, make plays like that in the preseason, and you might get a chance on the 53. Plays like that are going to get you on the roster. The team is putting the ball down your throat. You guys are on the back of your heels, but you stand up, you go in there and punch the football out. That is how you make a roster right there. And I like what Marvin said right there. Our defense are playing for jobs. And that's what it is. That's why these guys have 0 right here on this scoreboard. Boobop spamming up those B's. Broken. Richard. I see you guys in the chat. But, I mean, that's 100% one of these. These guys are playing like it could be their last play. And for some of them, it could be. And, you know, win or loss, I just want to see guys, you know, make plays like that. So even if they don't end up on the Bengals roster, they end up somewhere and their career doesn't end. I hate seeing career ends, you know, and by not making the 53-man roster because you're the 54th guy. So even if these guys don't make the Bengals roster, it'd be awesome to see them get picked up other places because they made a big play in this game. So shout out to Thomas and all these guys out here trying to make the roster. So Cincinnati's going to take over here at their own 30. Rounding under the center here. And off to the right. So Evans is back in the game. Haven't seen him since the first half. And he gets nowhere there. Billy said, are we looking good? 3 field goals on the offense and 3 or 4 turnovers on the defensive side. So defense is looking phenomenal. Offense is looking pretty good. No touchdowns, but they're moving down the field. For a preseason game, I guess so. Five receivers out here. Jake Browning is in the game still. Looks over to his left. Fryer jukes out and then falls down to the turf for a gain of a couple there. Broken said Rams ain't doing nothing. Candy Cane's in there with the Bengal emojis. Ethan said I forgot today's game was Super Bowl matchup. A rematch. What did I miss? I mean, a lot of turnovers by the Rams. They keep turning the ball over and a couple field goals by the Bengals. That's about it. Just kind of guys right outside the bubble trying to make the 53-man roster. Browning throws this one, and it's batted away by the Rams defender. And Bengals are going to have to punt here. They're going to go 3 and out after the turnover. So Bengals get the turnover, but they go 3 and out. And that's maybe the second time they've gone 3 and out this game. So it's not like the Bengals have gone 3 and out multiple times. They're moving down the field. They just haven't pieced it together. They kind of fall apart around midfield / like red zone. They haven't been able to get to the end zone, so they kind of fall apart in the red zone. So a booming punt here just bounces into the back of the end zone. And that's Drew Chrisman. And although this puts him at the 20 technically, he was so close from nailing this onto the 1 yard line. And that is why I want Drew Chrisman as our punter heading into 2022. This Rams fan says Bengals aren't going back to the Super Bowl. It will be the Bills. Each their own. You had your fantasy draft? Nice, nice. Good day to have it. Good day to have it. Yeah, no starters today, so it's not like you missed out on any of the starters playing. At least in this game, we didn't see any starters. Really just the competitive receivers trying to make that receiver 4 spot. Jackson Carman has been awful today, so Bolson has probably secured the guard starting spot. And there's a punting fight between Drew Chrisman and Kevin Huber right now. So the Bearcat versus the Buckeye. We definitely need better defense than we had last year in our secondary. Says Billy. I mean, definitely, there could be improvements all around. I don't really blame all of it on our secondary because for a lot of mid-season and late half of the season football, we had a lot of defensive linemen injured, which gives the quarterback more time to throw, which leaves the corners on islands. So, but, you know, Jesse Bates kind of found his form at the end of the season. So we'll see what happens this year. Good day, Marvin. September 11th versus Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock at Paycor Stadium. Spin up bees if you're ready for week 1. Did the Bengals fire Eli Apple? You mean cut? And no. Eli Apple was re-signed and has actually looked good in training camp. Perkins, quarterback keeper, been moving a first down to start here for the Rams. I don't know why people always hate on Eli Apple. I mean, he's not a, he's like a receiver 3 or 4. He gives up a play every now and then, but that's what happens when you're cornerback 3 or 4 going up against receiver number 1. Perkins slings this one over the middle of the field and all the way to the 50. That was Lance McCutcheon. He's had a few catches tonight. 60 seconds here in the third quarter. Right on midfield, right on the B logo. Play action, Perkins. Lobs this one to the running back. And Regis, who fumbled the ball earlier in the game, gets wrapped up by Hood. A good open field tackle. That was Jones on that play. Great tackle there. So Trayvon Henderson, who got injured on the last drive, is back in. Good to see there. Second and 9. Perkins throws the 49 on the sideline. It's going to be close. I don't think he got enough, though. Ethan said, I'm just asking because I heard a lot of rumors over him being cut. And as someone from Texas, I barely hear updates over the Bengals because them boys. Makes sense. No, I was at practice earlier this week for the Bengals. And I haven't heard anything of him getting cut or anything. So last reports I heard is he's had good practices because he's been up against, Jamar Chase, D. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. How do you not improve when you're going up against those group of guys every single day at practice? So I haven't heard anything like that from my side. But yeah, I couldn't imagine them boys coverage down there. I feel like that's all I hear up here in Cincinnati on, media-wise. Like, it don't matter if you're in Dallas, if you're all the way up here in Cincinnati. 90% of NFL media, I feel like nowadays, is all Cowboys. And, when's the last time they've been to a Super Bowl? But I get it. Big market team. Most valuable team, I believe, in all of sports, right? Most valuable organization of all of sports, I believe. I know in the NFL, but I think even over, like, soccer teams as well. So it's commercial break right now. One quarter left here. Where rosters could be. The last roster spots are fading away slowly. Just 15 minutes left. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button if you're in here. And hit that subscribe button as well. So here we go. Zach Taylor and Sean McVay. Obviously, Zach Taylor is somewhat of a product of McVay. That's going to be a no, Jeffrey. I apologize. I'm a young person. It was almost 2 of my lifetimes since Cowboys won Super Bowl. I'm not even talking about winning a Super Bowl. I'm talking about just being to a Super Bowl. The Bengals have never won a Super Bowl. Ever. Not even in my lifetime or beyond. But at least in my lifetime, they've been to a Super Bowl. They've also made the playoffs, 6 years? 6 or 5 years? Although last year was the first time they won one of them. It was like 4 or 5 straight years. The playoffs, no wins. So, 4th and 1 here for the Rams on the Cincinnati 40-yard line. Perkins and shotgun. The handoff, and it is going to be close. The running back was met in the backfield. His legs were moving. And they called the first down, but boy, what an effort by the running back there. Number 52 was already hit him in the backfield. I believe that's Spence. But the running back literally drug him to the first down marker. Yeah, that was Spence, but talk about leg power. That running back's got it. So first down now on the Cincinnati 30-yard line. The Rams trying to put some points on the board. 1st and 10. Funk on the give. A yard or two on the gain. Jeffrey said, do you think Pryor make the team? Most definitely. He's a rookie. He'll definitely make the team. If there's a rookie that doesn't make the team, it will be Lattiser, but he would just be on the I'm drawing a blank. Practice squad, but I even think he should make the team because of his special teams presence. 2nd and 9, 12:50 here on the 4th. Perkins looking close to the end zone, and it's going to be caught around the 7. McCutcheon, the only receiver to seem to make big plays today for the Rams, makes another one. Man-to-man coverage there, and good protection, good throw, good catch. That was Hood on the man-to-man coverage. So Rams, 1st and goal here. Can they put some points on the board? Six yards out of the end zone. Funk up to the 4-yard line and wrapped up 2nd and goal. Will the Rams get on the board here? He said, I'm in a non-biased way, since the Bengals are my 2nd favorite team, I think the Bengals have the potential to win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. I mean, yeah, I'd agree. Considering they were at the Super Bowl, but in a young roster. 2nd and goal here for the Rams. Perkins evading the pressure, rolling out to the left, and he gets to the pylon, and they're going to rule 6 here. Perkins, the quarterback, played all game, finally gets into the end zone, and he jumps over the pylon there, and LA gets into the end zone. He almost got sacked. Carter missed the sack. Hood tries to wrap him up, and it is close whether he got over that pylon. So looking at it again, Zach Taylor was considering throwing the challenge flag, but it seems like he's going to hold off and just... It looks like Perkins did get over. Extra point is up, Matt Gay, and it is right through the middle. 7-9, Bengals still leading, but with 11 minutes left, it's a 2-point game. And he said, if finally let me sub, love to hear it. I don't know, Ethan. It was pretty close. I mean, the ball just has to be over, and I don't know if it was worth the challenge. At least in a preseason game. Nonetheless, Bengals still have the lead, but 10 minutes is a lot of football. Guys, we're at 58 likes, so let's get that to 75 likes. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Become a consider becoming a member like my boy Buzz here, or donate to the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself on this Saturday night. Football on a Saturday. How much better can it get? How are we feeling about that call? Looks like Jeffrey said bad call. Katie said, we're not liking that call. You know, I mean, it could come back to bite, you know, if it comes to a last second Rams field goal to win, but we'll have to see. The kick is off here. See if this is returnable. And it's going to go through the back of the end zone. Touchback for the Bengals. So 75 yards is the goal here to get into the end zone. So here we go. 1st and 10, 5 wide for Cincinnati. Jake Browning. A dagger of a throw there on a 1st down, Cincinnati. That's Irwin again, who has just had a fantastic game. Irwin's looked great. Ethan said, I'm not sure if I thanked you for getting me hooked on the Bengals. I discovered your content by trying to find a play-by-play stream for my fantasy team, and I've been hooked on content. I appreciate that. Anytime. And a deep throw down the field. It would have been 40 yards, and it bounces off Thaddeus Moss's pads. Hit him right in his chest. It went through his hands, bounced off his pads, and hit the turf. Jake Browning is putting it on the money. I appreciate that, though, Ethan. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Browning. 11-yard reception to Lattiser, the other rookie. And another Bengals 1st down. They're moving fairly quickly on this drive. Ethan, if you haven't already, join the Discord. It's in the description. It's like 154 Bengals fans in there. Or just follow me on my Instagram. I have a ton of Bengals content on there that I post when I go to the practices. Rounding out to the right, out route. Pryor for about a 5-6 yard gain before being drug out of bounds. 2nd and 5. Cincinnati on the 45 of the Rams. Blitz is coming right up the gut. Browning gets it, tipped off the defender and caught by Williams for like 20 yards. It was kind of underthrown. The Rams defender deflected it, and it ended up going right into Trayvon Williams' hands. A beautiful throw on the run. Jake Browning has looked phenomenal today. I hope he makes this roster. His playmaking skills are way better than Brandon Allen's. Like, way better. It's not really close. Play action, and he is wrecked. He gets the ball off, but it's deflected. Jake Browning got blindsided. And he gets up, and he's going to feel that one tomorrow. Ooh. A blitz on the outside, number 48, and he just blindsides Browning. He got the ball off in time. It was incomplete. But boy, that was a big hit. 5 receivers out. 2nd and 10, 8:40 remaining here in the 4th. Browning over the middle. Lattice here. And the drive continues. Third and 2. Third and 2. Big first down here for Cincinnati. Let's see if Browning can put some more points on the board. Can we get into the end zone? 3 field goals. No touchdowns. $17-yard line for Browning. Quick throw out to his right. And Lattiser gets to the first down marker. But he gets walloped by number 6 for the Rams. And Browning floated it just a tad. And that needs to be a bullet pass, because you just got your receiver killed. Lattiser hung on to it, and let's see where they mark this place. And a late flag comes onto the field. Let's see where this one goes. See what we got here. Unsportsmanlike conduct for the Cincinnati Bengals bench. The team bench for the Bengals get an unsportsmanlike conduct flag. Not sure what that was about. And that's an automatic 15 yards in the wrong direction. So 1st and 10, but that puts them back on the 31-yard line of the Rams. Browning to Irwin. How many times have we said that tonight? And that's a gain for about 5. Shout out to Cray Pup for the Twitter follow. Appreciate it. That flag was kind of petty, Marvin, not gonna lie. They never explained or showed why, so I can't explain to you what happened on the bench. They literally just kind of skipped over it. 2nd and 5 here. Pressure is there. Almost brought down. Gets it away. And got the pass back to the line of scrimmage to Jaquise Patrick. He should have just threw that into the turf. Surprised he was looking for somebody. Third and 4. 6 minutes remaining. You give the ball back to the Rams with 6 minutes and 3 timeouts. That's a lot of time. Trio set to the right. Lone receiver to the left. Browning. Pocket. Throws. First down. Lattiser. Step back juke. And then pushed out of bounds. But not after he grabs that Cincinnati Bengals first down. So we're going to play a game I call the score game that we usually do in the regular season. Spam up 6 for a Bengals touchdown. Spam up 3 for a Bengals touchdown. And spam up 0 for a Rams stop. 6, 3, or 0 in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. All the way to the Rams 15 here. Just over 5 minutes. Trio set to the left now. Browning out to the right. All the way to the 10, the 5, and then hit out of bounds. But not until he picks up that first and goal. What a play there. Browning is doing everything he can to make this roster. And he's been nearly perfect. I mean, he should have an end zone he should have a touchdown earlier in the game, but it bounced off the receiver's hands. First and goal, Browning steps in the pocket, throws. Finally, a touchdown for the Bengals in this game. That's the 87. Bengals extend this lead 15-7. There we go. Browning deserves a spot on this roster. What a play. Spam up TD in the chat for touchdown. Shout out to Marvin, Ethan, Candy, Broken. I'll call on the number 6 for the touchdown. And you guys were right. And Browning, man, does he deserve a spot on this roster or what? Money McPherson comes on the field. It is up and through the upright. 16-7 is your score. And Rams have 4.5 minutes to carve their way for a tie or a win. Can they do it? I thought it was interesting. The Rams play Perkins the entire game for their backup quarterback, and boy, he is not very good. At least in this game, at least in this performance, I will say. I haven't watched his other performances, but I guess it's interesting. I guess he's the, number 2 quarterback for sure. They don't have a number 3. Maybe they're just gonna roll with 2 quarterbacks on the roster. But I watched Perkins in the practice on Thursday, and he was pretty good. When I was watching the 2s on Thursday at that practice, he made a couple good throws. Uday LT, good to see you back in here. Missed you too, for sure. Hey, season is coming up. You better be in there week 1. The gang is back in town. Uday super. I agree with that, Ethan. But you never know. The NFL is a crazy sport. A lot of crazy things happen. Guys, if you're in here, hit that like button. Let's get to 75 likes. That's the like goal. Hit the subscribe button. 2550 is the subscriber goal. And follow me on my followers. I'll give you a shout out. Discord's also in the description. 154 people in there just talking Bengals football. It's a good time. Here we go. Money McPherson set to kick this one off. And he sends it through the uprights. McPherson sent it through the uprights on the kickoff. How special is this kid? Insane. Commercial break after McPherson sends it through the uprights on the kickoff. This Rams fan, the chat is hilarious. He's been a Rams fan since 2021 and goes to Bengals streams to try to get every jabbing he can. But he's been a Rams fan for 1 year. Then he was a Chiefs fan before that as well. And then when Tom Brady was New England, he was also a New England fan as well. Tom Brady was actually his favorite player, then Mahomes, and now it's Aaron Donald. How we doing, Jeffrey? I see you in chat. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, each and every week we love all the visitors. We love all the visitors. Even the trolls. All right, bro. He's also a Yankees fan as well. Money Mac. I think what I find so intriguing right now is the punter. You know, I think it's going to be really interesting. I saw both punters at the practice earlier this week because, you know, special teams worked out together. So it'll be interesting. You guys got Kevin Huber or Drew Chrisman making the roster for the punting position? You guys have a preference? Talking about Willie Anderson, Isaac Curtis, who's going to get into the Hall of Fame. We'll see. Marvin says, overall, GG for our Bengals defense. Yeah, Jake has been phenomenal. I really hope he makes this roster. Perkins hands this one off. That's 32 for the Rams. Regis. And he gets a good gain of about 6 or 7. Second and 1, a curl out. McCutcheon through his hands. George on the coverage. And that stops the clock right at the 4-minute mark. Third and 1. A run here. Breaks a tackle and prevails for the first. Rams first down. Drive continues. Oh, wow. The Dolphins are beating the Eagles. Interesting. You guys are funny in chat. As mainly an Eagles fan, people need to stay off the bandwagon. My main team sucks, but I stick with them. You think the Eagles suck? You'd say they suck? Wow. 1st and 10 run here. And a good gain of about 6 or 7. I wouldn't say the Eagles suck. There's a lot worse teams than the Eagles. Second and 3 here. Kendrick went to hand it off and tripped over himself and fell straight to the ground. 21-7 or 27-0 Dolphins, really? A preseason game blowout? That's ironic. Who dey, Marvin? Dude's not even a Bengals or a Rams fan, but comes in here to troll. Comedy. Probably too scared to even say what your team is, eh? Is it really 27-0 though? That's kind of surprising. It's different if it's like Dolphins are playing starters and Eagles aren't. Then it makes sense why it might be 27-0, but I just don't recall seeing too many blowouts this preseason. Oh, wow. The Bears are beating the Browns 21-3. So that's another blowout going on right now. That is right. Preseason doesn't count. Gardner Minshew's on the Eagles? I don't know if I recall seeing that. Yeah, see, I mean, the Dolphins played Tua in Tyreek Hill. So, look, man, don't sweat it. The Dolphins played their starters. Plus, they have Teddy Bridgewater, who's probably the best backup in the NFL. I mean, there's 32 starting quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater's probably like the 35th ranked quarterback in the league. So they played Tua. They played their starting running back. They played Tyreek Hill. They played starting tight end. I mean, no wonder why they're winning. They played their starters, and the Eagles didn't. His team's probably the Texans or something. Look, he won't even say his team. It's hilarious. Probably is the Texans. Nah, he's probably a Pittsburgh fan. Scared to say it. Check out. Wow, Bears. Justin Fields went 14 for 16, 156 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not the Bears playing their starters for the entire first half. Or almost the entire first half. That's kind of crazy. See, like, you look at the blowouts, that's like, oh, well, that team played their starters for an entire quarter, and the other team didn't. Or, like, at least this game, it was backups versus backups. 90 seconds left. 4th and 2. Rams at their own 45. A handoff, and I don't think he got it. And they're going to say he did. So the drive continues. They have 60 seconds and 3 timeouts. But this is all but over. "40 seconds. And the Rams run the ball here. They get into the Bengals territory, but looks like they're not going to try to score here. That's going to get the clock to 25. And let's see if this is the game, because this should be it. Let's see if they run another play. They don't have to. And it looks like they're going to let the clock run out here at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Bengals get the revenge from the Super Bowl. Zach Taylor smiling as he goes midfield and talks to his best friend, Sean McVay. Who, don't forget, he came from LA. He was under Sean McVay. They're really close, no matter the beef that happened in practice earlier this week and everything leading to the game. At the end of the day, McVay and Taylor are really tight, and this was a good showdown and good practices during the week when the practices counted. So the Bengals are going to walk out of here 16-7 with the conclusion of the preseason. The next DCTV live play-by-play will be week 1, and you're not going to want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because we're going to be probably going live like 2 hours before the start of the game, and we're going to be having a lot of fun that stream. So shout out to everybody in the stream getting active here. I hope you guys enjoy the commentary. I know it was a little bit of a hiccup there in the first quarter, but like I said, when there's a problem, you find a solution, and we did that. So Cooper Kupp, Joe Mixon, even some of the starters out there talking to each other after the scruffle earlier in the week. And what a way to end the preseason. A lot of question marks still for the Bengals. Will Jake Browning make the roster after this great performance? Who's going to be the receiver for punter? Is it going to be Kevin Huber or Drew Chrisman? Bolson, will he get the start that we hope he does at that guard position on the Bengals offense line? Will Chris Evans be running back too? You know, I think it about sums it up. But a lot of those have been answered and will be ready by week 1. Thank you guys for all tuning in, and shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys were awesome today for the amount of viewers we had, which was a little less than usual. But it being a preseason game, no biggie. I appreciate all your guys' support, and hopefully I can see you guys next week. Let's check out these last comments. Broken says, "Sweet revenge, Houday." Nice. "Sweet victory," said Ethan. "I think Brandon Allen, Jake from State Farm would duke it out for second string. Jake shows promise and upside." I agree. Houday, Marvin, Candy, Richard. Nothing to say, Rama fans. I think it's a victory song. Not for the preseason. Let's get into the regular season, and I'll consider it. And how about this? Every regular season game, we hit the subscriber goal and the like goal, and we get a Bengals win, I will sing a song. Don't quote me on it. All right, Marvin, I'll see you week 1. Appreciate the support. See you, Candy. Thank you for your patience. Hey, gotta stay professional out here, man. See you week 1. Sadly, need Jamar to get less catches because of fantasy. I get it. Take care, everybody. Have a great and blessed rest of your weekend and a great start to your week. If you ever want to reach out or talk to me, best way to do it's on Instagram, Twitter, or Discord. So, I need to be going to this screen more often. There we go. That's pretty cool. Any last comments, questions, concerns before I wrap this up? Good day, everybody. Last comments, questions. That's all right, Broken. Have a lot of fun week 1. That should be a ton of fun being there. Man, can the bots take a breather, man? Look, the stream is ending. I know you bots see this. The stream is ending. What are you in here for? Not the 69mega.com. Fill life with emotions, find love. At the end of a 4-hour stream. 3 hours and 47-minute stream. Love to see it. Well, that's about all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.